It says we are live. Well, hello to anybody that shows up from the YouTube crowd. The chat is a little low. We're here kind of on a last minute Wednesday night stream. We are Into the Splinterverse with me, Steve, and that guy, Bebeomega. He is wearing a very cool shirt today, and this was all kind of last minute, so I understand why there's not that many people here. So you can say hi to the hopeful eventual crowd we get coming in.
Uh, I'll say hi to the nobody that is watching us, and I hope you're enjoying our show. But I mean, anyways, it's going to be in the records for the future. I mean, people will be able to see it at some point, so it's still cool. I mean, I know usually when we go online, it kind of gives notifications to people that follow you. So yeah, maybe at some point. Pijangos, who gave you permission to not have a show yesterday, will show up and we'll talk Splinterlands. Let's see.
Oh, we
Ank
got
is
our
here
first
already.
person while you were chatting and while I was sharing it in my Discord there. We got Ank. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming in. And we also have one more over on Twitch.
Probably also Ank.
No. Ank's there, but so is some other person.
Oh, okay.
James Smart. So hello over there on the
James
Twitch
Bond?
channel, guys. Uh, it is Jaint Saint is what it looks like
Oh.
to me, but it's kind of like off
Jabby,
to the side
Jabby
where I can't read
Saints?
it.
Jabby
Oh yeah,
Saints?
Jabby Saints. Yes. Oh,
Oh,
and the
here.
People's Guild has
Okay.
showed you called for him, and he is
Yeah.
around.
I actually called only once. It was supposed to be three times, as far as I remember.
Yes. Shout out to Bajangles there. I still need to watch the newest episode. I haven't had time. I had to work super late today because we found out that our really expensive call center is like apparently having no one work at night, and nobody had caught on for like 3 weeks. So that's always funny.
Oh, he's
Oh my gosh,
ignoring.
it's Jabby Saints. That chat is so far to the right. I don't. I need to tweak my monitor. I should have been able to see that.
Yeah, and
What's up, Jabby? Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't see that.
Bijangos is ignoring us. I mean, he he showed up just to mute us. So I mean,
Well, you know what? Still, he's here. He's chatting. It helps the algorithm,
I
so
mean,
that's all good.
yeah, I mean it's okay because I mean he's kind of salty because I beat him the last brawl, so he kind of hates me now. So he
He's
came.
salty too at me because I played him one time in ranked and I beat him. He's like, haven't
Yeah,
seen you in a while.
yeah, I guess he's salty at us, so that's why he's like, okay, no, I'll show you the highest form of
Yeah,
ignoring you. I'll just show up and I'll mute you, and I'll tell you that I mute you. That's okay.
yeah,
We love,
but
we
okay.
love,
So just
we love him.
quick mention of the hive price before I hide it to make us a little bigger. It reached 21 cents. That was cool. October has started a little bit down, as baby was reminding me, and so hive went back down. Bummer. The rest of our coins, vouchers got cheaper, which is good for me because I'm still buying them. SPS got a little bit cheaper. Not good for me because I haven't really been buying much more of that. And deck went down a little, which is a
Pretty
bummer
much
as
they
well.
followed the same thing that Bitcoin was doing. So
Yeah, they're all down a little bit, which is okay, I guess, for now. I do need to get a lot more of this, so there's a chance maybe I'll buy some. Um, I was looking at my
well,
land
I
again,
mean,
and
you're a rich guy,
I
so I
I
mean,
don't have enough. So
you live in the richest state in the US, so I mean, it's okay, it's
I
normal.
also live in the state with the highest taxes, and last I checked, you lived here too.
Oh, really? You never actually check, you never fact check me up on that. I might be lying.
That, I, true. That's
See,
true.
see? Yeah, you never actually fact check me. I might say that I'm in California, but I might still be in Vegas.
Oh, let me see. I don't know. I don't. There. That's. Well, I don't know. I got to work on my monitor setup. It's like I pushed it that way so I could see that chat better over there, but man, it's not good. I need to figure out how to
So you
pop this
don't,
chat out and
so you
stuff.
don't butcher Jabby's name again?
Yeah, because I felt bad. I called him what I said, something
And hello,
insane.
Gathering the Magic. Thank you for coming to chat with us, having to make us company. I mean, coming to
So,
make us company.
so the big cool surprise update is everybody probably is kind of aware at if you're a player is this brand new little reward we get for going up. Now I only made it to Champion 3 last season, so I started down in Diamond 2. Luckily, on the first day, I was able to make it back up into Diamond 1. And look at, I earned 3, 9, and 12 chests for doing that. That was pretty
Yeah,
cool, actually. You get
it
to open
is.
them up. You know, I didn't pull anything amazing, but I got a few more cards. I got some random merits, and it's just a nice little bonus. And it's showing me the team is starting to add some things in to kind of have a fresh play face and fresh feel if they're going to try to start marketing sooner and getting more people in. So
Yeah,
so
and
that's kind of cool.
in my seasonal chests, this time I got a plan.
Oh, well, congrats. That's really
I hit
cool.
I hit the jackpot. Yeah.
I haven't actually spent my season glint yet, but it's because I had had a really bad season of not earning any. So at the end of the season, I took everything I earned and bought the champions chest from last season. And so I'm hoping I could earn enough this season to maybe do a mid season buy of stuff. So I'm just holding on for now. I'm really gonna make an effort to start trying to play my at least 10, 15 games a day again.
Well, obviously you're
Um,
having way more fun with kart racing, so
well, in my defense, when I was kart racing, I had played Splinterlands down to about 30 energy. So I'm back up at 50 now because I wasn't able to play all day when I was at work, but I got this down to like 30. And then, yeah, I started playing moonkarts and I made my 46 colony. I will say that if you own mooncart stuff and you're just completely ignoring the game, you are missing a chance to pretty much just get free colony for playing because every single race, was pretty much me versus one other guy. And maybe 3 times there were 3 of us, but the game pays out the top 3 of every race. So everyone who's playing is earning. And the game is not spectacular. It's still very much like it was in beta. It runs okay, but it's not super impressive. The cars are crazily unbalanced. Like this legendary car will just fly way faster than the other cars. There's no way like a rare car is ever going to beat a legendary car. Maybe an epic car could. I'm going to test this out a little more and see how it compares in speed. Um, but I mean, it's like this one tops out at like 330, and the rare tops out at like I don't know 250 or something. So like it was kind of sad because I was racing this against a guy and he was beating me a lot when I was using my rare car because he was using like an epic car. So then I started using my legendary car and it was kind of silly because I could just like putt around in the beginning and then zoom past him for the rest of the race.
yeah, and hello to Cow Hepner and Andre B. Andre B is giving us a softball. I have no idea what he's talking about. I'm sure neither do you, but we can uh, go into it pretty
Okay.
easily.
Uh, okay, so there's a new proposal and it's from Splinterlands. Interesting. So it's
Well, I
from
mean, I
them.
thought he already is doing Secret of Pretoria Land expansion.
So they want to hire Cryptomancer to develop the secret.
I guess offsetting some more costs to the DAO.
Yeah, yeah. So they want some more money from us, huh? So,
Well, I mean, us, yeah, they also part owners in the DAO, so
this will help the company out significantly as we strongly urge the SB stakeholders to approve this. Cryptomancer rate for software development service is $90 an hour and would be capped at a maximum of 160 billion hours or 14,000 per calendar month. So, in some cases, due to other circumstances, monthly total will come to less than this. Proposals from last year, unless the DAO votes to cancel or modify. So they're asking for us to cover a $14,000 a month developer in order for him to keep doing the Secret of Pretoria land expansion. Okay, well, we do know that Cryptomancer in theory is a pretty good dev. He does take longer vacations than and travels around the world every once in a while. And then let's see. If this proposal is approved, Cryptomancer will still be a part of Splinterlands team. He will continue to work on the rest of the team as normal to develop Secret Pretoria expansion. The specific tasks or features that he work on related to the expansion and their properties will still be determined by the Splinterlands company, unless a future government proposal. They understand the DAO does not have unlimited funds, that the community needs to be careful and smart about how their funds are used. So we'll not even submit a proposal like this unless we feel it necessary benefit the community more than it costs in the long run. Interesting. There's need to make cuts in other areas. Wait, so however, if the proposal does not pass, we don't plan to let Cryptomancer go. We plan to keep him on the team, however, he would. I think they messed up here. However, we would be put in a difficult position of needing to make cuts in other areas at a point where we have already reduced the team down to what we would consider a bare minimum necessary to continue a reasonable rate of development. Interesting.
Yep. I thought we were having a bigger runway, but I guess not.
Yeah, like, I don't know. You know, this is one of those things that if Tails was here, I think he would point out once again that while it seemed to me like some things were going better and we got our DAO funding, that the team might be kind of short on money. I will say $14,000 a month. I'm not
Are
sure.
you trying to summon him like I summoned Bijangos?
Well, he might be in the background. He watches occasionally. Time is $172,000 a year. That's not like crazy amounts of money for a dev work. $90 an hour, huh?
Yeah.
So basically, they're saying like you can we can pay him to get the Secret of Land expansion done, so that he can keep working on that, and then they can use that money so they don't have to fire some other people.
Yeah. Otherwise,
which is interesting. So Jeffrey says land is trash, that we should just get rid of it. Let's see, what else are we seeing here? I don't know. I don't love this. I mean, I do understand that the DAO of the game, I'll still give it a vote because it's a pre-proposal, but the DAO of the game can't do a lot if the DAO...
If there is no game.
If there's no game.
Yeah.
But we already took a big chunk of money out of the DAO to pay for the validators. Now he wants a big chunk out of the DAO to pay for land, and we already gave them a big chunk of money to do the promo cards. So yeah, guys, if you can be a crypto developer, you can probably pull around $90 an hour.
Especially if your crypto months are good.
Yeah. If you're a really good coder, $90 an hour is not unreasonable. It is a good amount of money, and I mean, if you want to, you know, you want to like do another proposal and say, no, how about we hire him for $60 an hour? That's all I'm willing to pay. Then, you know, anybody can make a proposal, and it just, you know, like going over some of the comments, you know, Fat Jimmy, we obviously need generate revenue or we're screwed. Land does not help generate revenue. I mean, land could help, but only if it was
Yeah,
done.
we are biased. We are
So
biased, but no, yeah, he's right that new
yeah,
players generate revenue, not land. Land, as much as
yeah,
we
I do.
all.
I do understand land doesn't really do anything for new players, really. So that's interesting. We got direct. So that's Jimmy, and then we got
Harvey.
yeah, Harvey coming in with what brings new players to the crypto world. We had period hours ago, tons coming in, and then we had a terrible new player experience. So I'm not sold on this. People find a way, and the situation is right. We're agreed on the desire of new players, but the crypto world make it different, and it drives that. Yeah. All right. So we got Blewett coming in. I do agree that the MPE is the most important thing, glaring hole that needs attention at the moment. As long
But
as
then
it's
again,
still being
the
worked and
whole
developed, I think this
proposal,
is a good
the whole
idea.
proposal has nothing to do with the new players' experience. I mean, either way, it's worded in a, I know, in a specific way, but it actually is, guys, pay cryptomancers salary because we are strapped for cash and we need to survive. And of course, the priorities will be whatever they will be, but it has nothing to do with what land brings, what new player experience brings, or anything like that. It's simple. The company is in bad shape at the moment. They need to cut expenses. They need the DAO to cover for CryptoMaster's salary because probably that's the highest salary on the team, understandably so. So yeah, I mean, as you said, if there is no team, there is no game. If there is no game, the DAO money is worth nothing basically anyway. So, I mean, it sounds like a no-brainer to me. There is nothing to argue about. There is nothing to discuss. It is what it is. I mean, uh, being salty or angry won't change anything. Situation is what it is. And as I said, if to me it feels like no-brainer. I mean, this uh, proposal is supported. We make some lemonade from the lemons and hope for better future, as we always have.
Not that many comments, so this probably hasn't been out for that long. Oh yeah, only 5 hours. Um, we see Bajingles here has he says land's an albatross. He hates to say it, but land is going to bury us. In my opinion, nobody including cryptomancers should be working on land related things, as none of it will matter if we don't get new players. Guilds and outstanding new player experience material needs to be absolute priority above anything else. All hands on deck. Immediately impactful. I say I will happily support the company via the DAO. The conditions need to be changed. Lands need to be a backseat to everything else. Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's
but
interesting.
it's that's not the dialogue. That's not what is discussed here. I mean, that's not what the proposal is about. Yes, it's mentioned to keep on working on land because that's where he's working now, but basically it's as simple as just the DAO Matt asks the DAO to pay for Cryptmaster's salary because they need to cut expenses and then they don't want to do it by letting go even more people from the whatever is already a small team. So simple as that. Though I see it, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, and I understand what a lot of people are saying here. That maybe we don't need him to be working on Secret or Praeteria. Some of the people look like, hey, they're okay. We'll pay for this guy to keep working, but we want him to be switched over to the new player
yeah,
experience.
but that's a different conversation to be had. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's not what the
and
proposal is about.
yeah, and the other thing I would say though is I think people are kind of misunderstanding what the Secret of Pretoria land expansion is going to bring to the game, and how it will help the economy, because when you change land from the very simple passive farming game that it is into a much more complicated farming game that is planned, when you have to, not every land makes food, not every land makes the things that you need for your land to always be working. A lot of us will have to start doing things where we start swapping. It's going to add a lot more needs of the deck to be added. I know that like it didn't maybe help that much that when you go to if I can even find it anymore Where's land, guys?
Oh, see, that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes some getting used to.
Let's see. Guild. No, it's
No
not a
land.
guild
It
thing.
disappeared.
Items, cards,
They
other,
hidden it. It's hidden.
shop,
Play, man, play.
play. Oh yeah, because I play the land game. That makes sense. But the well, let's see. Where do we see it again? Trade Hub. So we have our little tiny deck for grain and the deck for grain market. And while this is not huge, and while my mighty little deposit into here has
I
just
remove
been
mine.
slowly earning those of us in here $1,000 that we all share, so I maybe got like $1 of that coming my way. There is a little bit of trade activity here, but it's just for one market. Even though it's only one market, it does have some DEC in it. Not very much. It looks like only 15,000 currently. Yeah, only 15,000 currently. And, but that's also because, it's so easy for us all to get grain. So, picture a world where it's not just this, there's like six others. We need to trade those other things all the time to get this one because it's a lot harder to get food at that point. And all of a sudden this area is a lot of the way that you finally get these get deck back up, because a lot of us will need it. We'll be swapping it back and forth for the different things. People will be earning money, and it will help the overall economy. And the word that we probably shouldn't be allowed to say anymore because it doesn't seem to work, but the Splinterlands flywheel, if DEC starts getting up near par, this starts going up higher. Well, then when we play the game and we're pulling in how many tokens we get per win. Didn't win those games, but this one here.
Oh, you can just hover over. You don't need to open
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I know, but see those 19 tokens. If those 19 tokens were worth a quarter, 50 cents, then that's how you get new players, in my opinion. We're still a pretty niche thing. We are a TCG crypto game. Um, we have to remember that we're not going to pull in new players because they're looking to play a game. We're only going to pull in new players if they're looking to get involved in crypto games, or if they are really looking to own their own cards and like the idea of them. But one of the big things that helps us is if our stuff starts to go up. So
Yeah, Andre, nobody likes it. And yes, the company not only looks like they're desperate, they are in desperate situation, but it is what it is. I mean, nothing have gone the right way so far for us, but I mean, we are hanging on there, hoping for better times, and if that will make the team hang on a little longer, well, I mean, yeah, then for me it's a no-brainer. And again, um, you're right about the stuff that you said, Stevie, but that's not the proposal. What proposal is all about, and that's a totally different discussion for probably another proposal where people can decide like what is priority and what not. But the main point of the proposal, in my opinion, is they need us to pay Crypt Master salaries, and I guess that's what we need to do.
yeah, I'm wondering, when we'll start to hear some of the bigger holders and what they feel about doing that. I'm guessing Cryptomancer isn't going to vote on this one. I'm just going through here a little bit more because since it's about paying him, that would be a little bit weird.
Well, but
So
it's still, it's yeah, but still, it's he's getting paid either way. It's not like something that will bring him any benefits. So I don't think it will be weird if I don't know if he's going to vote, but I don't see it weird because as part of the company, he wants to help the company. So in that uh, And in that reasoning, then Matt should not vote neither because he's like the CEO of the company that wants to put aside some of the salaries and put it on the DAO. So,
Yeah, it makes some sense that the DAO should be paying for some of this stuff. I mean, we did get a really good amount of extra money given to the DAO because when they sold the new packs a few, when this came out, the DAO got a lot more than the team. It seemed like a bit of a sweetheart deal, and maybe they gave us too good of a deal. Um, so that's something they have to remember. Um, it's an interesting one. I mean, I don't know exactly where I stand now. My vote weight isn't small, but it's not one of these guys with like millions and millions of SPS. So it'll be, I can't really move a market and decide. It's kind of like the one thing I would say I don't like about this is it's kind of like half transparency. When you're coming to the DAO, I feel like you need to give full transparency. If you want me to pay for Cryptomancer so he can keep working on land, and you tell me that if I don't do this, you're going to keep him, but he might not be able to work on only the land experience. He's going to have to take over helping with something else because someone else is going to be let go. Even if you don't tell us where you're looking at removing people, like maybe that's not level of it's kind of hard, because the members of the DAO, I feel like we should know where is that cut coming from. What is that cut going to expect? Like if we don't do this, what are we putting in jeopardy? Because I don't feel like Cryptomancer, who's been like working in the land code, working on getting that up to par, and that's been kind of his baby, his dev work, is going to be able to like just step in and take over new player experience.
oh,
um,
he can. He totally can.
I understand in theory he's a good dev and he could do it, but if he had to pick up what somebody else is working on, I don't care how good you are. There's a little bit of lag there while you figure out what they were doing and how they were doing it, and even there's less lag if it's a good handoff. Like if I get to come and sit with you and you get to show me what you were doing and explain to me how you were doing it, and then you leave, well, then I can probably take over pretty quickly. But I don't know how quick that stuff is.
Well, anyways, he will be working aside. I mean, I don't know why we're even discussing it. I mean, as I said, it's a no-brainer. I mean, like it or not, the company is in desperate position. They need the DAO to help alleviate the burden of the salaries. We can either do it or not. If we don't, then yeah, we might end up with no game at some point, and all the funds in the DAO will be kind of useless, worthless, or majority of it. So again, for me personally, it's a no-brainer, and I don't know what is even there to discuss. I mean, I'm sure nobody from the team wanted to come to this, and Matt was trying hard not to have to come to this. I guess we'll keep on praying that better times come, and that we are still alive for the better times.
Hey, don't worry, Bolts. If I vote no, I don't think I'm going to be the one that causes this to fail or not. So, um, I think the bigger votes that you got to worry about is Bejangles, and he has that group of pretty high SPS stakers. I'll be interested to see what they're planning to do because those guys have a lot more power than I do in this.
Well, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Jungles will
And
vote.
and, I wouldn't say Jangles doesn't this comment doesn't. I mean, he's not here, so maybe he'll tell you guys. But this doesn't say he's voting yes.
No,
This says
he doesn't. He's not commenting on the proposal, so he doesn't say anything because He's not commenting on the proposal. He's commenting on the total different issue that Fat Jimmy had started in the beginning of the comments. So I'm pretty sure that he will vote yes. And I like asked most of the probably the Wells. Probably the only one that will vote no is Byzantine. Bis because he usually just votes no by default to anything. that involves money going out of the DAO. But oh, I saw both saying Azericon, and I was like, oh, do we have Azericon? Maybe we'll get some fresh insight. But he was just commenting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like he was, Azercon is voting yes. I don't know. He said that in a channel bolts. I hadn't seen him on anything, but I know he doesn't host shows. He goes on some of the shows every once in a while. Like if he's saying I'm not going to vote yes unless you change this to say we'll pay for him to stay, but he won't be working on land. He'll be doing NPE, and you got Silent Riots blew it. Like none of these people came out and said yes. Let me vote yes. Now the post is kind of new. Not all the comments are here, but they're initial comments. There's not a lot of yeses. Now
Again, the
initial
comments are not
votes.
not on whether the DAO should help pay Cryptomancer's salaries on the priorities, which had nothing to do with the proposal, and they should discuss this in a different manner, I would think. So
Yeah, I mean, you got one big vote down here, another pretty big one here. You got one. You got two pretty big ones here. So,
well,
you
it
know,
probably all boils down to how Vuktis and Azercon are going to vote. So
yeah, I mean, it's only at 66-34 in its pre-proposal stage. So, I wouldn't say that this is at all a lock, but you know, we'll have to see. Total votes is still only 8 million. So
the question is not how much is the salary. I mean, it's they're not going to change the salary. It's his salary. The question is whether the DAO will help pay the salary as it is. It's $90 per hour. That's what the salary is, and it has nothing to do with whether it's
sorry,
too much or too little. It's about
but
whether we agree to pay for part of it. I mean, to pay for it or not as a DAO.
Bolts came in with the Fizz. I'm not doing 90, and Bolts comes in. Yeah, it's too cheap. We got to pay him
Yeah.
more. So that's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Um, yeah, and like I would say, like the one thing I would say to Bajangles, and I don't know if he can hear us yet because you said we were muted. I
No,
feel like
he'll be keeping us muted for the whole show. I told you he's sour.
oh yeah, but the idea here that we need a lot of help on the new player experience. I agree with Andrew here that we're moving good on the new player experience already. I mean, one of the things is the new thing they added, which were the rewards for going up. That was good. That I already showed at the beginning, but not everybody's here. But we get these now as we move up. That's one of the things that they needed. They now, even though I kind of said this wasn't going to be a big deal, and it doesn't seem like it's a big deal yet, but you can rent full sets. That's something they wanted in for new player experience. They also changed the fact that, and they actually kind of broke it for bronze. The glint that you earn down there, they increased it too much. We found out they said that one win could buy you 5 bronze energy or
Eight,
something, or 8.
eight.
And so they had to fix that. But the point is they've increased the rewards down low. They've given you chests as you level up out of bronze as another thing to reward. They've made it so that you can rent sets. They've cleaned up
There are
the
jackpots.
UI and made it completely different. Yeah, and that means that you can pull jackpots in theory as you level up if you get lucky. The first person to pull a land plot or a beta pack or a title out of a chest that they get just for leveling up in like diamond is going to be pretty wild. It's going to take a while before that probably happens, but it's there. Um, so it's not one of those things where um, I don't know what else we want to do for the new player thing. I know they're working on like a better way to get you into the game and help you out with some better like practice battles that make more sense, a more of a standard guide into the game. So that's going to be nice. But I mean, I one of the things I've never fully because they've never outlined it really well, is what they really meant by new player experience. But you know, the new player experience is you earn more glint, you can rent full decks, you get rewards chest as you go up in leagues, you are able to have some kind of new intro thing is I think the last little piece that they're working on, and then you get to buy theoretically relatively cheap Chaos Legion cards to use in the current set. Um, you know, I mean,
Or rent.
yeah, or rent, but I'm not really sure. I don't know. I don't know what else they could add. If somebody else out there has some kind of good ideas, or what do you think? Like, what would you put into new player experience? Do you have any
Well,
ideas?
I haven't even put thought into it because I know there are people that are thinking about it and they have some plan that we haven't even seen full. And as you mentioned before, we've seen some changes already happening. I know, or at least as far as I know, they haven't kickstarted their marketing campaign as of yet. And that's something that is already funded, so it has nothing to do with the proposal. But on since I was like, while you were talking, I was kind of like following the chat, and Geoffrey keeps on saying they're wasting DAO money, land can wait. Again, guys, I think, oh, there you go. You summoned Tails, but yeah, we'll get there. But there you go. It's not about where Cryptmancer, not the Tails, the team guy, where he works. It's like on what he works. That's not the point. That's not what the proposal is all about. It's about whether we as a DAO are willing to pay his salary, because supposedly, in my opinion, probably it's the highest, one of the highest salaries on the team. So by paying us as a DAO one of the highest salary on the team, we are kind of giving them kind of a tax break or a break in general, financial break. So that's the whole proposal. It's nothing to do with whether land can bring new people or not, whether they should focus on new player experience or on land and what land can do and what cannot. That those are all good questions, but they have nothing to do with the proposal. The proposal is put this way because currently Cryptmancer is working on land, but in general, it has nothing to do with land and it has nothing to do with new player experience. It has with us as a DAO taking
Mm,
part of their expenses, paying for the salary of Cryptmancer. And again, all other questions
no, no. I
should
think
be
you're. I
discussed
think you're
separately.
reading that a little wrong. It literally
Okay?
says hire him to develop the secret of Parent Land. So
Yeah, because that's what he's doing at the moment.
yeah, but basically they're saying, like, to me, what this is saying is, look, we don't want to get rid of him. We want him to keep working on the secret of the land. But if we don't get you guys to take over his salary, and to then we're gonna have to let some other devs go,
Yeah, so
and
that's the
Cryptomancer
whole.
isn't going to be working on this anymore.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. So the point is not where he is going to work. The point is that there will be if we don't, as a DAO, take his salary, the paying of his salary, there'll be further cuts in the company. That's a way of them saying, if the DAO does not jump in with covering Cryptmaster's salary, there'll be further cuts in an already small team, which I am sure none of us wants. So again, it has nothing to do with the land. It has to do with the finances of the company, and that Matt needs, the CEO needs help from the DAO. Yes, he puts it in a way that it doesn't sound that desperate, although it still does. But that's the whole idea. It has nothing to do with land. It has nothing to do with new player experience. They want us to pay for his salary because they're in a bad financial situation, which was something we were somewhat expecting, hoping not gonna come to this. But if it does, I think we should do whatever we can to stay afloat as long as possible, hoping change of winds. I don't know. That's at least how I see it.
Yeah, I see it a little different. I see this as a continuation of what Matt has started to do. And I don't know if this is great or if everyone's going to love it. And that's this idea that the DAO should be paying for certain things. The idea here is the DAO whose ownership of the SBS joint should be paying for the guys that are making the SBA, the SBS chain. So we had to pay them to do that. Then he's coming back to us and go, look, if you want land, if you guys want land, if you want the secret part of the land to update to come out, you're going to have to pay for that. It's an update to the game. It doesn't really help the game. It's not a core part of the regular part of this game. It doesn't drive revenue, so we're going to have you guys pay for that update. And then if you want the I don't know why I can't say the word Pretoria right now. but if
I'm
but either
sure
way,
I'm sure you're a smart guy and you can read between the lines. That's not what it's all about. It's not about whether they bring land to us or not. It's about whether the company will keep on existing for much longer or for a little bit shorter. And then it's all about the runway at this point. Because I'm sure even though Matt was talking about the DAO paying for some of the expenses, I'm sure he sees that as a last resort. So that's my take. I mean, obviously, they're not going to get rid of Crypt Monster at any cost. So it will just shrink the team further. And we were complaining there are not enough people to do all the things that are in the process of doing. And now there is a real possibility of the team being shrunk even more. So yeah, I don't know. I just see it as an investment in keeping at least the team for a little bit while, which again, supposedly in the long run, will be more valuable for the DAO than the money that we as a DAO are going to spend on his salary.
yeah, I get what you're saying. One of the kind of the bummer about things like this coming out is that they didn't really get to word it here, I think, in a great way. They didn't. It's a really short read, which is a little disappointing. Um,
Have you ever asked somebody to lend you money?
Not really, but
Imagine a situation like put yourself in shoes of somebody that you need to ask somebody for money. How easy would it be for you to go and ask for help, financial, but
I don't
beyond?
know. It would depend on the situation and who you're asking, but I think that that's like the wrong kind of comparison because you're not going to a person, you're going to the DAO. I
Yeah,
don't
you're
feel
not going to a
bad,
person, you're going
and
to a
I've
company.
done this many times and went to my own bosses and told them I needed a raise, and I got a raise from them, and that's the closest thing that I could say
Well, yeah, but
to
that's not the same. Asking
this.
for a raise.
I know it's not exactly the same, but that's the closest thing I could do, and there's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
but
with that.
I understand, and I understand that for you it's the closest, but it's like not in the same vicinity even at all because you're asking for something that you earned. You're not asking for help. You're asking for appreciation that you've earned through your work. Totally different. Begging somebody for financial help when you're down is not an easy thing to do. I'm telling you out of experience. I've had to go through it several times in my life. And believe you me, when you come to that point, you are having the conversation in your head like 500 different scenarios, how you're going to ask about it. It never comes out the way you were planning it, like none of the 500 variations that you have in your head, but it's a hard thing to do. So you're trying to make it sound less desperate in whatever way you can because you feel uncomfortable doing it. And that's how I see it because it's practically Matt. I know he owns also probably a good chunk of the DAO himself, but he's still asking the rest of the people from the DAO for financial help, and that's almost like begging for money and it's not an easy thing to do when you need to do it. And a lot of people, for a lot of people, it's like last resort. Like they, if they have nowhere else to go, they go to they go to that place. But I can understand how it's difficult and it's not very easy to word it in a way that you find appeasing.
Both. This is interesting because he's saying it's only 172K a year, a couple of pack sales and promos, and bang, we pay off his salary. So, um, yeah, Tails. I remember that we talked about this, and this is the thing. I'm just not sure. I understand kind of what Splinterlands and them are trying to do eventually, and the game is supposed to be owned by the DAO. If the DAO owns the game, and eventually we have the ability to the run the SPS chain on the validators, and if one day the validators run the game, and Splinterlands, the company, is a little less important in the scenario that we have, then this is going to be the normal kind of thing that the DAO is going to have to do. When the DAO wants new features, they're going to have to hire devs to build those features in that kind of a world. So if you want that's where kind of Matt, at least in my mind, has put that he sees this kind of going forward. The DAO gets money from the pack sales. The DAO gets money from the promo sales, but the DAO funds the development of the packs and the promos and the land because the DAO gets the money from those things. So that's kind of where it's at. Um, yeah, I do understand. Like, the one thing I would say is the thing I don't like about when this one is coming in, and I'll agree with you that a little bit here, is that you would like to see us have some of the investments pay off before they come to you asking for more investments, right? So we paid for the SPS development for the chain to get made and come out. Now, the code is out, and if you're a coder, you can debug it and you can try to run it. But they haven't put together a nice package so that somebody who's just kind of savvy can get it and get it running. So that's really where they should have it, because we're all supposed to, in theory, be able to take this and get one of these running. And you shouldn't have to be, like, I've run nodes for other coins, and I am not somebody that is really, really good. I am not Cryptomancer. I'm not a developer of stuff, but I was still able to follow all of their things and get those nodes running on a system. And so I would expect that they need to be able to have that guide, have it a way for it to be all bootstrapped and up and running and all of those types of things. And that's not out yet. They also struck a deal. Now, I feel like the promo card one wasn't done by the team, but still it was the DAO making an investment in the team. So we're like, hey, we want to pay you to do some promo card sales. We'll get the money back from the sales. You guys will get this chunk of money, and in theory, if you can develop the promo cards cheaper than this chunk of money, well, then the team gets some extra money. Is the way that kind of proposal was to me. But we're only into the first promo card sale. I don't think that you could judge whether or not this is going to be successful at all until you're halfway through, because this.
Isn't the second supposed to start
Oh,
today?
did it start today?
Yesterday?
I think it
Yesterday?
did.
I don't know.
I've been working so much I didn't even
I
look.
haven't checked. I thought several times to check, but I was thinking like it was supposed, I think, to be this Tuesday, which is yesterday. I don't know if it did, but
No, that's the wrong one. Oh no, see, it starts in 5 hours
oh, so next Tuesday. Okay.
or five. Is this days?
5 hours. Yeah, you
Yeah,
always
my
say
bad.
it's
My
okay.
bad. I was thinking those were, yeah, so it still starts in 5 days. But nonetheless, we don't know how this is going to go because my big theory is that while some people bought, while the first one sold okay,
Yeah,
and
this
you
one will be way, way worse.
that this one's going to be way worse because a lot of people who invested this a little over 113, including Bebeomega, they don't have any money left for this one. They're too close together. He hasn't had time to put together any extra funds. Nothing in our ecosystem has went up a whole lot for any of us to be able to like easily bring in money for these cards. And so while you're still going to have some people who buy them because there's just some people that buy everything, and I'm included myself in those. But I'm in a financial situation where I can do that. I can invest a few $100s when I feel like it. But even me, right now, when it comes to the first two cards, I maxed out the one with the back row cleanse because I thought that was important to have at a max level because of its use case. But the legendary, I only got to level 2 because I just didn't feel like spending that money. This time, I don't know where I'm going to go with these. I'm going to kind of look at it the same way last time. People were printing this for 50 deck and selling it for about 40. So if they do that again, I'll just buy it off of them and save 10,000, dark coins every time and get it to the level that I think I need it.
Oh,
And
this one
and
you probably need it
yeah,
at max level anyways.
I don't
Unlike
know.
unlike
I
the
I,
other
I,
one.
I haven't looked at it. It does it have? I know it came out somewhere, didn't it?
Well, it's a double strike and he gets the fourth attack on
Damage.
its
Okay,
last
it does
level.
get the fourth damage at the last level.
Yeah.
Okay, that is pretty important. So
So
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, this is pretty, but still, then, like, even if I do go pretty good on this sale, in another couple weeks I'm going to have another one. Not to mention there's that caveat of the 100 card where only 100 people are going to get one, and that's if people don't buy two max level card that's going to be sold as well. Also, I don't know if Matt has said for sure that that money is going to the DAO or not. um, I know he said he wanted to do that, but it wasn't part of it. Bolts wants the battle. No, not right now, Bolts. Um, it is, to me, you want to come to the DAO, and you want to try this thing where we pay you to get validators done. We pay you to do the promos. We check to see if our investments were good, if they got into it. Because, like, one of the things that, like, I wouldn't be comfortable so much saying yes to this personally is when PJ has talked about the validator stuff. um, he made it seem like we were only paying for a few months of them working on it, only enough to get it, like, the chain out and working, and so that we can run the nodes and we can start to be the ones that move the coins around. But, like, if they wanted to take over the game, we would have to hire them again to keep making updates to it. And so that's more money that we're going to have to give to them. And also, now the DAO has this big investment into Hive and the Hive ecosystem that we've made to get that funding from the DAO Hive, that, we're running out of liquid funds. So we can't just keep promising to give these large amounts of funds. So um, we need to see, in my mind, stuff start to pay off.
Yeah. I just see that people still don't get it that it's not about whether he works on land or not.
Cryptomancer will host the barbecue over the Philippines once we hit 75 cents for SPS. Yeah, if we hit 75 cents, that would be pretty cool. I still don't know what's going to happen with crypto. I've been one of the people that's maybe not quite as bullish, mostly because Bitcoin is, like, definitely probably going to go up a whole bunch, but now it's not the altcoin bros who own all the Bitcoin. It's the financial bros. And when financial bros make lots of money on Bitcoin, they don't necessarily come buy ETH and BNB and the alt chains that then pump all of our bags because all the guys holding those eventually make it down to our coins. They can go buy stocks. They take their profits and they throw them in stupid 5, 6, 7 yield a year CDs and bank accounts. So
Which also
um,
means they're selling into the bros, which can already, after it goes up, trickle down to the altcoins again. I mean, if they're not holders, they're paper hands, and we have diamond hands still, I believe. So don't worry about that.
well, we'll see.
You
We'll
don't
see.
worry
I
about
mean,
that.
the altcoins did for like a little while last week finally start to move. The Ethereums and the Solanas and the a couple other ones started to finally turn things around, but then Bitcoin took this little dip and they all went back. Boop.
Yeah,
So
and it's like what's new? I mean, that's usually how shit goes. And again, October. So we'll wait for Christmas. Miracles happen around Christmas.
well, October is supposed to be a pretty good month for crypto. One of the things that's pushing against it being a pretty good month for crypto is what's going on in the world. The war escalating in the Middle East with Iran and Israel is not spectacular for anybody's peace of mind. It'll be a test to see if people really do look at Bitcoin the way they look at gold as a safe haven to move your money into. Um, as we could have escalating war situations, which I don't want to see that. I don't think anybody really likes to see that anymore.
Yeah, we
But
don't want to see that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad for crypto.
true, it doesn't mean it's bad for crypto. You're right. Well, in theory, if Bitcoin is really now accepted in the world for what it's supposed to be, war should make Bitcoin go up
Yeah,
because
because I
it's
mean
supposed to.
all the sanctions, they can just be circled around with Bitcoin and or any other crypto for that matter. So I mean, but we don't want that to be the way for the crypto to go up. I think it should just go up. I mean, I think it will go up like naturally because of the scarcity and because of the resilience it has shown so far. And when Bitcoin does, uh, the good projects I think will do as well. So yeah, again, I think you're worrying too much and you're not zooming out enough.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I hope that it goes up. I hope because we really need Bitcoin probably to hit like 150K so that some of the other coins can go up to their large things, and
And
then
that can happen in
some
two
of the
weeks.
people, some of it's going to happen in 2 weeks.
No, I said it can happen in 2 weeks. We have
Oh,
seen
can.
we have seen this exponential growth, so it can happen in 2 weeks. I didn't say next 2 weeks, but in general, where it starts, we have seen, and obviously we have seen to a lesser extent because the scale was smaller, but the larger scale, like the larger the scale it is, that same small percentage movement is way more money wise. So
Yeah, and a Liberty guy here has a kind of an idea. I would kind of like to see this too. If we're going to be paying for Cryptomancer, and even though I know you're saying this isn't just about land, but it does say hire him, develop the secret of
because that's
Pretoria,
what he's working on at
land
the moment.
extensions. I understand, but in theory, I'm now hiring you to do land, baby. I would like you to put together a little PowerPoint, a little presentation. Come and do a meeting with me, the DAO. Show me, where you're at,
Sure, ninety
where
dollars
you're
per
gonna
hour,
be going, and
ninety
give
dollars,
me a timeline.
$90 per hour. I'll do it in 3 years.
Well, see, when you come back with it, I'm going to take 3 years to do this, so it's going to cost you a total of close to $500,000. That's
That's
when
okay.
I go.
Do
I
it.
think I think I'm going to have to talk to a couple different devs.
Okay, I'll do it in a year and
Besides,
a half. That's okay.
technically, I can't pay you more than my salary, so you have to find out what I make before you can
Well, I
ask
mean,
me to hire you.
see, okay, he's doing it for 90, I'll do it for 85. and 1 year and 1 year and I'm done. But I would need I would need an advance
Yeah.
so I can
Let me tell you, if I was
focus.
making more than like by myself $172,000 a year, I'd probably be buying more things in this game. I'll just say. So, not
Well,
quite to
I
that
think
level
he's
yet.
buying. I think he's buying a lot of things in the
No,
game.
he does buy a lot of things in the game. So that's what I'm saying. I'd have a stack closer to his. So, um, yeah, like I don't know. Like also as somebody who I do work, at a place where if I when I've done stuff and I have to tell them how long I think it's going to take. It's one of the things that you have to tell them every time you do a project. My one project where I said I was going to replace all of our analog lines with digital lines at all of our offices. I put together that I could do it in 5 months. I did it in 4 months. They were very happy. I got a lot of good stuff from all my bosses because I was able to
You
come
got a
in
little
ahead of
tap
schedule.
on the
Little
shoulder. Good.
little pat on the
Yeah.
back because like a good person, I went in saying it would take 6 months. They went, well, can you do it in four? I said, how about five? And then I did it in four. But I wanted that extra month in case we had problems. But
Well, what if you did it in 9? They will still be happy that you done it at last. You're like, okay, finally you did it. Well done. Good
well,
job.
yeah, they would probably have still been happy because the overall project saved them like $900,000 a year
See,
for the
well,
last couple of years.
what
But
part of of that money did you see?
well, I get my regular salaries.
So nothing, because
Yeah.
anyways, you were getting your regular salary anyways, even if you're not doing that project.
Well, there's been some layoffs, so I have kept my salary. We'll just say that. But yes.
Well, you would have been doing something else. You would have been paid the same. They wouldn't have saved the money. So basically, you didn't see anything from that money that you saved them.
Yeah, but I understand what you guys are saying. Aaron, I get what you're saying too. We don't need a PowerPoint. We get town halls, but we only get one a month. But here's the thing: he wants us to hire him now, right? He wouldn't be being paid by Splinterlands. He'd be working for the Dow, in theory. Now, the way this is written, he'd kind of still be working for Splinterlands,
Yeah,
is how they're
it's
saying
written.
it, which is
It's
kind of
written.
a that's almost like making me want to say more like no. Like Matt, you want me to do
Okay,
this? Then he's
okay. For
the
the sake
Dow's employee now. He can report to what's his name, Claiborne.
for the sake of the argument, just go like I think it was one or two paragraphs before the end, because he was saying like no, but it says it's for the land. What it says, like the third from the last paragraph. If the proposal is approved,
Yeah, it says that if it's approved, he'll still be part of the team, and he'll continue to work with the rest of the team on the secret of. I can't say that word right now.
no,
Um,
but read it until the end because the important part is towards the end.
Features he works related to expansion and priority. It'll still be determined by Spellline Company unless future government proposal passes with specific
So he
that.
still will be like the priorities, however priority shifts in the company, he will still be uh, like focusing, like he will be still reporting to Matt, and Matt will tell him, or whatever, whoever is in charge of him will tell him what he needs to focus on. So again, that is not to pay for development of land. That is to help the team with Crypt Master's salary because it's probably the highest on the team. So it will be the biggest relief for the team. And that's a way to ask it without begging, which nobody wants to beg.
No, yeah, I know, I get it, I get it. I do what you're saying. I do know that begging is hard. I'm not poor now, but I grew up really poor, and I do understand that when you're poor, asking for help is not super easy. But
Yeah,
there,
and all the other discussions, whether land is priority or not, or whether new player experience should be all hands on deck or not, like all those conversations, they are conversations that have nothing to do with this proposal. So they can still be had even if or when this proposal passed, because as we said, the company still has the ability to change priorities. However, they see fit based on communication with players and whatnot. So the people who have the demands of, okay, I will be okay with paying his salary, but he needs to be working on something else. Well, yeah, but that's a point you make after that because that's not
Ooh.
what proposal is about. The proposal is about paying for his salary, and then you can make a point, and if anything might have proven that he listened to the community. So you make a proposal or you make a conversation, whatever it is, and you say, we, or like you gather people with like that are having high stakes or whatever, and said, we want to put a proposal that we postpone land for 6 months and all focus goes from the team goes to new player experience. That's fine. That's different. That's a proposal that can be put, but it's not what this is about. And people should, I think it's important to have that in mind that the whole proposal is not whether we focus on developing land or not. It's about helping the company stay afloat a little bit longer. So that's why, I mean, I don't know if Bjangos is here. I saw that he said it's a hard no, but then I saw some of like when you were reading the comment, I saw like if it was for something else, I would probably have been yes. But since it's for land, no, it's not for land, Django's. It's helping the company stay afloat. And again, you know enough people, like you have you know the important people in the well world. So you still guys can, it was set in the proposal. Or if there is another proposal passed, unless a future governance proposal is passed that specifies otherwise. So you can still gather, you can like be it with Claiborne or just by yourself, you can still go with a proposal that we scrap land for now, or like whatever the ideas you have, you put them forward, and that has nothing to do with the DAO paying Cryptmaster salary. I hope you see that because I know you're a smart guy and I'm sure you are able to see that. So I don't know if you just to focus that it should not be land, that's fine, but it's not what the proposal is about, in my opinion.
No, I mean, in your mind, I still, even reading this, okay, if this proposal is approved, Cryptomancer will still be part of the Splinterlands team. He will continue to work with the rest of the team as normal to develop the Secret of Pretoria expansion. The specific tasks or features that he works on related to the expansion, so the task that he does related to the expansion and their priorities will still be determined by the Splinterlands company unless a future governance proposal is passed that specifies otherwise. To me, that doesn't say that he won't just be working on land. It's that what parts of land he works on and which
Yes,
ones we release
no, I mean,
first, we're gonna decide as a company.
yeah,
It does, but it
obviously,
does. The one caveat I'll give you, it does say that he still works for Splinterland. So if Matt walks up to his desk, even though that's not a reality, these guys work virtually. But if he calls him up and goes, "Hey, I need you to take a look at the new player experience code because it's not quite working right, and we need to iron this out. So take a break from land and do that for a couple days." He's probably going to listen to Matt because he still works for Matt. That's what this is saying. But to me, it is saying that we're basically hiring him to work on land, but Splinterlands is still going to be the person that decides what's inland, what comes out inland. He's not giving all of that to the DAO.
but you're still like just picking words by words, like the whole meaning is this is a way for them to present the situation without begging. And again, it's not about what Cryptmaster works on, it's about who pays him. And I think that that should be clear enough for everybody. I understand that people are getting involved and getting deep into the semantics of it, like, oh no, we don't want land, or yes, we want him only to work on land and whatever opinions. Those are for different proposals or different conversations to be had. This is whether we as a DAO pay Crypt Masters salary. And he used to work before on guilds. He used to work on a lot of things. And I'm sure if the situation dictates that land should take a backseat and something else will be priority, he will be switched to that priority regardless. Because it says the future governance proposal is passed that specifies otherwise. So yeah, anything can be changed, but the question is not about what Cryptmaster works on, it's about who pays him, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I get what you're saying. I'm kind of just I'm looking at it a different way, at least the way they put it out there. I do understand what you're saying. In general, they're saying that you guys need to pay for Cryptomancer's salary so that we can keep the team the same size as it is kind of what this is down to. But it does, but the way it is worded, at least for now, to me, is that we are hiring him to develop the Secret of Pretoria land expansion.
I
So
understand that.
basically, he's been assigned to work on the land expansion. Matt would like to keep him there, working on the land expansion. But if due to current circumstances in our ecosystem or our funding, we need you guys to pay for him to do that so that we can continue to pay the other guys to do this.
So we can continue to have the team, which is already small enough as it is, and don't need to make further cuts because it won't be Cryptomancer. It won't be Cryptomancer that will be cut. It will be several other people because I'm sure his salary is probably in some people's salaries several times. So yeah, instead of letting him go, they'll have two, three more people, other people go, and that's what it is all about. Do we want to keep the no matter how small team as it is, or we want to just let it go with into further cuts? And on Django's point, again, yeah, I mean, they're making plans. We like over the last 2, 3 months, we've approved 1.5 million. I understand they were even hoping it will never come to this, but I mean, obviously they have to adjust based on what they see. And at the end of the day, what I said in the beginning of the show, if like all the funds are gone, the DAO funds will be mostly useless anyways. So, I mean, and on the other hand, if we keep long enough afloat, so we can like potentially wait for that better times that might hopefully come in the future, then the money spent on his salary will be will be returned in way many more times to the DAO because the DAO will be worth more because all the assets will be worth more. So yeah, it's kind of like I see it as an SOS, and it's whether we want to help or not to keep the company afloat for longer.
Sorry. So for let's see.
Well, I'm sure if Django says 1.5 million, he knows what he's talking about, so I don't even doubt that. Probably he's compounding on different things like the rebellions, the set, the promo cards, the whatever it is, the SPS validators, like everything, probably even playboying. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure if he says a number, he knows what he's talking about. So I don't even doubt that.
Yeah, because he only gets 60,000 Claiborne, so he gets far less for running the DAO. Let me look at the other proposals. So he gave 60K to Claiborne. I mean, setting up
And
a
see,
legal fund is not
he
spending
gave you,
money.
yeah, he gave you a breakdown.
DHF 50K, promo 60K, validators 350K. DHF 500K. See, that's the 500K I wouldn't count because we didn't spend that money. We just converted it to a different crypto. Um. So Saying that we'll hold Hive instead of Ethereum is not spending money. It's picking Hive over Ethereum.
But
At
even
the
if
end
it's
of the
1 million, and even if it's 3 million, it's like they have like that's why in every business there are projections. You have a projected quarter, and then based on what the actual quarter is, you decide like, okay, I mean, we need to adjust our budget because of the results that we were expecting did not turn out the way that we expected them, and
Yeah, no,
so
no, no. I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to understand where he's getting that number because to me it was high, and I would just say, yeah, I wouldn't agree with it. I would say you take the 500K out because that was more of an agreement to hold one cryptocurrency over another cryptocurrency. Plus, holding Hive is going to allow them to upvote and make rewards, so you get some of that money back. At the end of the day, if Ethereum blows up and Hive doesn't move at all, yes, there's some unrealized losses there that is kind of a bummer, but there's no proof that it's still not going to be worth that 500K.
or
And
more.
then yeah, or more money in the future, even if it's not worth as much if it would have just been Ethereum. Maybe if you would have had Ethereum, the 500K would have turned into 5 million. You have Hive, it turns into 2 million. If we get a bull run, it's still not spent money, it's just taking a bet on a different horse. Promo cards, when you say 600K was sent, we have to at least, I'm just being a little bit of a devil's advocate here. You have to at least go to the where is it, the Legends Hall, and click the little button and see that we've got 1.3 million back. So,
That's
or
not
I
wrong.
mean, not million. Wait, yeah. Wait, that is. Oh,
That's
wait.
113,000, 113,000.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. That's a period, not a comma, right there. Yeah. So we
No,
got
I mean
100.
it's million DEC, but that's in dollars is 113,000.
Yeah, yeah. It's but out of the 600K that we sent for the promo cards, we've gotten back 113K, right?
Oh, I thought that's burned, but yeah, I mean probably.
Yeah. No. This is going back to the DAO because the DAO paid for the promos.
Okay.
At least I thought it all was. Maybe I'd have to go read the proposal again
And
to
it's
know
still, I mean,
exactly
there
how
are
much
still
is
more
going back.
sales, and no matter how worse they will go, there'll still be more money coming out of this deal to the DAO. So this is only one quarter. How many? How many? It was four pro or five.
No, it's five. It's five. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the sixth one that Matt had said that had alluded that we would also get the money back to get us back the 600. Because it
The,
was it
the
was
auction
DEC
one.
we sent them is the auction one. So if basically in his mind, if he makes 100,000, 100, wait, is that no? That is a
Yeah,
comma. So
yeah, it's
if
113 million DEC, man, which is
yes, yes.
$113,000.
Yeah, yeah, at peg. So but we gave
Yeah,
them 600 million. We've gotten back 113 to my knowledge. That's the way this is working. If I'm not, somebody yell at me. Um,
hey,
but so then if this one were to make another 100, and this one was to make another 100, and this one was to make another 100,
which won't, but
right? 1, 2, 4, and then we're at 500, and then he does the special card sale auction, and it makes another 100 in theory. Then
300.
we end up getting back maybe 600, maybe 700K deck, so we can get 100K deck profit as a DAO. The one thing I was saying, Bajangles, I would like us to be at least like maybe at the fourth card sale before they came and added for money, like done with three of these, so we could see, after three of these, is this going to be 300 million or is it going to be like 160?
Do you
Because
think it's a
nobody
choice, Steve?
nobody has any money left to buy
Do you think it's a
these.
choice when they ask for it? Do you think it's like they are okay? Well, I feel like asking them now. I mean,
Well,
you
I'm
know,
under the impression that the fact that they, yeah, that they, that if his salary is 14,000, I hope the team, if Matt really had to, he could find $14,000 somewhere else to
oh,
keep him
he
for another
can,
month.
but that is compounding every month that is delayed. So
I
yeah,
understand, but you'd only have to delay one more month to let the second sale happen and
I
the
don't,
third
I,
sale start,
I'm
right?
not sure about that because it's like two
Isn't it
two
every
weeks
two
long.
weeks?
2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. So every
Yeah,
seven,
so
one
this
month.
one would finish, and we'd be just about to start the
No,
third.
no, we are about to start the second
Yeah, we're about to start the
in
second,
five
but
in 1 week.
I'm saying if we didn't have to pay for Cryptomancer for October, you said instead let's start this in November. So Splinterlands will pick up his salary for this month. Then, right, you'd be done with two because it would be done before by the and we'd know what the cards are for three. We wouldn't know any sales yet for three. You are
Yeah,
right about that, but we would at
yeah.
least know the cards.
Okay, I
Preferably,
mean,
I'd say you guys got to pick them up until December so we can be done with two and three, and on our way to four so we can see what we're getting back. Not to mention, then in theory, the DAO has gotten back funds to pay him, right? Because we have this money coming back in, but now we're gonna have to give it right back out, which is kind of a bummer. Tails had, he's coming in, he's making some sense here. It's a bit of a bad deal, but all of our choices are bad at the moment, which is maybe your point. The seal's
yeah.
been broken. The DAO will pay for the mistakes of management, and we don't have any other choice there. He says if this proposal does fail, which Bojangles is saying it will, they'll just do another one next month, asking us to pay maybe whose salary
Nate,
next month. Nate, yeah,
Nate.
Nate's salaries. We would like to keep Nate on, but you guys didn't want to pay for Cryptomancer, so you pay for him. He makes a little bit less.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I know that
Oh.
Django's talk with like the Wells, but I'm not sure that the proposal won't pass.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. They got one big. I mean, when I went over there, and I looked at it a moment. They got one big update, and this thing keeps turning red and yelling at me because I haven't voted. But like it was at 60-30, now it's at 80-20, and it's basically because one big vote came in, and that's Michael with his 8.5 million SPS, which is a pretty big vote. You got Lorcas against it. You got Silent Riot against it. Um, I don't know where I'm at. I want to think about it for a little bit. I mean,
Well, I
I'm
mean,
probably,
again,
you
as I
know,
said, it will be up to two people. So whatever they decide,
well, um,
and we know who those two people are.
it's Azrakon and who?
And Vuktis.
And Vuctus. Vuctus is the other one I'm forgetting about. Because Cryptomancer is the other bigger vote, but he shouldn't, in theory, be voting on this. I think if he voted for this, it might make some of the other bags vote no. So he should probably stay away.
So should Matt
Um,
probably.
yeah, Matt doesn't usually vote, I don't think.
Yeah,
So,
but uh, Aggie might vote. What I mean, he can
yeah,
vote.
well, Aggie's not part of the team anymore, so he's just
Yeah,
an owner of the coin, so he should vote if he wants to. So, let's see. The bottom line is land does not move. Needed, bring in new players, driving revenue. I don't think anyone suggested we throw land in the garbage.
but
Um,
again, this has nothing to do with land
yeah,
for
the thing is, but Jingles, I went over this. I don't know if you were listening at the time, but the secret of Pretoria expansion. I swear I can say it better when I don't see the word. It's because when I see that word, I don't think Pretoria. I don't know why, but um, the secret of Pretoria expansion, the specific things it's going to do is it's going to make land more dynamic in what the current holders have to do. It's going to make us have to start trading one resource for another. It's going to make those
it will look a
liquidity
lot of
pools finally
look,
start to have a reason. So you add in however many more liquidity pools it is. I think it's like 14 or something, right? And then we all have to start trading our assets back and forth, which means
and
there's
locking
actual
and locking DEC in this pools
yeah.
because each pool you have to lock DEC in.
So you have to lock DEC in all of those pools. Like no joke, if when the new land experience comes out, like when I actually feel like it's near, I probably have to buy at least 500,000 DEC just to have it sitting around for pools, and that's like at least. And I know that the only reason I'm not buying it now is because it it hasn't been moving to peg. It's been coming back down. It hasn't been stable, so I always think I can get it a little bit cheaper. So, and so and they haven't told me that it's coming out anytime soon. The last development they said we're not doing anything for land till next year. So, and I don't think DEC can get to peg. I don't think the flywheel can work if land is not further along than it is. Now, does it have to be to where you're crafting cards? No. The
No,
the other thing though as well, besides all these DEC pools, all these other resources, all these people may be willing to put money into those, because unlike the one we have right now where nobody needs to buy grain, everyone who plays land will need to buy some kind of resource, which means they'll actually be trading. So you'll actually make money for having money in those, because people will be trading things. But it's the secret, right? We're going to get the first update of the secret. It's going to allow us to have something else for the resource that we're all looking into, and it's going to give us a chance. It's probably going to give us a chance to do those things where we can get special cards from the shop if we try to do it, or get the special glints. No, wait, not glints. What am I trying to think?
the research.
Yeah, no, yeah. Research can be used to earn. What are they calling those things? Not.
Oh,
It's not
salination,
just.
salination crystals.
Yeah, no. Not skins. They're calling them.
Oh, okay. Well, skins. Yeah.
What? Yeah, the skins. But I don't know. Remember what the glints? No, no, they're not glints. They're.
No.
Somebody will tell me in the chat
Glamour, glamour,
eventually.
glamour,
Glamours. I was like,
glamour.
what the hell did they say they're calling those things? So yeah, so we're gonna have research for glamours. We're gonna have research possibly for other things, like just
And the
expanding
research will
what.
be in a new way. I mean, he said that
Yeah.
for a while now, and that's probably close. The research where you need to actually put all the resources that the land will be producing together to get research. It won't be just, okay, I have this type of land, so I slap 6 workers and voila, everything works. No, you have to actually put from resources, and the ones that you're not producing, you have to be trading. And also there'll be a lot of trading, which means probably the pools will be getting some incentives, and also there'll be a fee when trading, which will be burning DEC. So a lot of DEC will be locked, a lot will be burned. But those are ideas that might or might not happen. And again, we're talking about stuff that it's a good topic, but it has nothing to do with the proposal, which is nothing to do with land or no land. Should we do land? Should we not?
Oh,
Should we
come
do
on!
nuclear
It doesn't
experience?
have nothing to do with land when it
No, it
says
doesn't.
hire him to do the land
Yeah,
expansion.
no matter what it says, it has nothing to do with land. It has to do with
Well,
Crypt Master salary. That's it. I mean, he will still be Crypt Master, and he will still be doing whatever he needs to do, whatever he's told from Matt to do. So there's that. I mean, whether or not we pay or not, it's still he'll be doing whatever needs to be done. So it has nothing to do with that.
yeah, I will say that the proposal does last for a year, so we're promising to pay about $170,000. Though he did say that we're not providing paid vacation, because when he takes time off, it looks like the DAO will have to pay less. So it's interesting.
Then he's taking off on vacation. So
Yeah, yeah, but hopefully he doesn't take off on any more major vacations before the next expansion comes out, because he just got back from one, right? So
well, nobody's saying, Aaron, that it will be that land will be getting in the way of new players. That's totally not what we're discussing.
who's gonna reprove? Hey, they made it pretty clear, but Jingles, he'd still be working for the
Yeah,
team.
Matt will
So the
approve
team the team is
his
still his person. I mean, that's why this is kind of a weird proposal. And maybe it doesn't pass
Japan.
because of those kind of things. If you want the DAO to hire someone, they should be working for the DAO. But how do you answer to the DAO? This is one big things I didn't like about the fact that we paid PJ to do his thing.
He was living in
Um,
Japan, right?
huh?
He was living in Japan, right?
Who was?
Cryptomancer.
Oh, I don't know where he lives. To tell
I
you the
think it's
truth,
Japan. I think it's
But
Japan. It was Asian country, but I think it was Japan.
I have no idea where he lives, Tails, but he is a crypto developer. So, with the way things have been over the last couple of years, they're the only people making money in crypto. So, he probably does have a decent house, but um, I don't know though. I don't know if I would buy a mansion just because I had good money in another country, because that kind of makes you a target maybe for certain things that you don't want to be a target for. So. Also, he wouldn't have one if it was in Japan. Japan is a kind of expensive country out of the ones in that area to live in. So,
See, Django's know everything, even his vacation homes.
oh yeah, see, you're right. He's in Tokyo. Yeah, see.
No, he has even a vacation home in Malaysia.
Oh, in Malaysia, vacation home.
Where are all his mistresses? Like in which country does he have secret wives?
Yeah, but like in general, I would just say that yeah, actually, I think that in Japan, since it's an island, isn't land really expensive? I've heard that like it's like pretty expensive even to have like a smaller place out there. So
Show off. How did
yeah,
you
they've had him on
how
more
did
than
you
a few
do
times. That
how did
makes
you do in
sense.
your last bros Django? Like how
Oh
was
yeah, Jangles. I heard maybe that someone in this show might have beat you in a brawl.
show off? I mean, he's just showing
We
off.
were
But
laughing at you a little bit early because he beat you in a brawl, and I beat you in that one battle in ranked, and you messaged both of us. I think about it. So it was pretty funny, but
whatever fights makes stopovers. I don't know, he can't be having in all the stopovers. And it's a direct flight from Tokyo to Kuala Lumpur.
yeah.
So or maybe it's a flight attendant. Maybe it's only one, but
Interesting,
flight attendant.
but backing up, Bojangles, I did bring your comment here. We just wrapped up. You just wrapped up your episode with Rogue. That's going to be fun to listen to. I haven't heard from Rogue in a while. I ran into him in the brawl last week, but I was bad and I didn't go back and check who won that one because he didn't submit before I did. And then
Well, you
but
can still go and check.
I had a good brawl score, so I think I beat him, but I don't know for sure. Um, but nonetheless, it'll be good to hear from him. But if you have a counter proposal idea, what would be your counter proposal? Would you do what you said here, like we'll pay his salary? Would you make it less money? Would you say that he has to do new player experience instead of land? I mean, what is this idea?
Crickets. You have to
Jeffrey, I don't
no,
play those games, so I can't tell you about them.
I play them, but I won't tell anything.
Right now, I play this one,
Into the Splinterverse.
and then um,
And soon you'll
I
play the other one
and I
when they
did do some tweets about this,
when
where
they
you
make
can
it.
you can play
That's not even Krypton.
you can join this wallet, and then you can play a lot of different games. I thought I already followed them. That's funny. And
Yeah.
then you can get free crypto. And I did move this crypto out of this wallet, as you can see. That was what I was proving, because Bebeomega wanted me to see if you could actually withdraw the crypto, and you could. So,
Yep.
like I said, I've already moved $50 out, and I'm almost to another $50, and that's in Bitcoin. So these are the things I'm currently doing. I'm also still playing Parallel a little bit, but I took like a week off maybe,
But you don't
and
think
I still try to play Big Time occasionally, but I just haven't been streaming it because the big problem with Big Time is that their big update they did to do the like find player to play with thing. Well, nobody's playing, so you can't ever find anyone to play with. So okay, so here we go. Um, we've heard guilds is the number one sticking point for new players. We want Mancer to build guilds. Okay, well, we already have guilds. I don't know what else you want from the guilds, but I do understand that they're not that great. You want to rework brawls. I wonder what you want to do those. Oh, okay. You did say here you want tax it. You want to get it so that. I mean, you could still use tackets in the brawls. You just have to not know what the other guy's
Yes,
doing and
you have
just
to guess.
yeah, you just guess. Just usually go
But
for healing. Usually go for the
but
poison.
but as far as I know, it's a guess on both sides whether you submit first or not. You still don't see the team before you put your
Yeah,
tactic.
it's always a guess. Yeah.
So it's fair
Um,
to everybody.
yeah. You finish tech modernization. I believe that by paying for Cryptomancer to work on land, you are allowing the dev that is currently working on tech modernization to continue to work on it. I don't know which dev that is, but I know that that is being worked on, and Cryptomancer's not doing it, considering he was on vacation and his next project he's doing is land. Um, the redesign of the battle pages. Um, I don't know.
Is
I
being
mean,
worked on. As Nate said, it's not Battles 2.0 that will come as one ready project. It will be happening little by little. As you see, they changed now a little bit the way that the page looks like with new arrangement of buttons and whatnot. So they're changing stuff little by little. But again, it will be still something that is being worked on. So technically, if Manser is not being paid, he'll probably be jumping on those projects because people working on those projects will be no more working in Splinterlands. But then again, if ever we are in a better position, we have to start hiring from scratch. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what
yeah,
you
I don't know about hiring him for a per project basis. I understand that, but from what I understand, if you want to hire people for a per project basis, it's more expensive than having a dev on your team on taking a salary. If they're taking pure project work, especially per project work with like if you want to try to put in deadlines for projects and things like that, when you get into those kind of negotiations, the pay is usually a little bit higher because they're not guaranteed work if you don't hire them for another project. So
And again, Django's, yeah, I'm not saying that you're wrong on, yeah, those are good priorities and that's good, good projects, Mansur to work on. But again, that's not the point. That is a conversation
yeah,
that can happen after we decide whether we pay to him or not. Because either way, he'll still be in the company. And either way, these conversations will be happening whether or not we pay or not. But again, it's a call for help from Matt, as I see it. And it's about covering the salary of the most expensive employee in the team because they don't want to have to cut the team again. And I don't think we want that too because as far as we can get a few of the things going on, the more people we have on the team, I guess, the more people will be moving simultaneously and will get us there faster in whichever project it is. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing if we were able to keep the team the way it is, even though it's still small, but we don't want it smaller, in my opinion. So there's that.
yeah. I mean, I don't. Like when I think of guilds in Splinterlands, I don't think they're like the worst thing in the world. We have the brawl system. Um,
Well, I'll ask Django's the same way. I mean, how many times have you been forced to beg for money, Django? Somebody like, have you gone through that experience? And if you have, you probably would be aware that that's not an easy thing to go through. So when you say, yeah, there should be clarity and zero room for interpreting or whatever, uh, yeah, it's not that easy as it sounds when you're not in the position to be the one begging for it.
oh, look,
So
I get to do a little flex on an 8-0 week.
nice, nice, good job.
Yeah, led the guild there with the 8-0. The problem is my guild is not that great. Yeah, there's lots of guys down there, so we're
Oh, you're
probably
still ah,
still.
what are you talking? I mean, you're still in tier four, man. Where you even opening like?
Hey, I can't. I didn't. I don't pick the tier, but at least I'm going 8-0 in tier 4. Okay.
Tier 4. If you're
But
looking for a new guild, we have some spots open.
I couldn't imagine. That's the one thing about the fact that they didn't give everyone the chance to take their points with them when they leave. I mean, I've put so much money into here. It's like
You
I
don't
don't
need to. You
think
don't
I'm
need
gonna
to worry about
go
that, man. I
anywhere.
mean, we're not asking for donations.
But yeah, I mean, but I'm just gonna say guilds to me they're not that bad. They're not terrible. Okay, you get a guild. The guild has a tavern where you can chat. It's got buildings that you can upgrade that do things for you in the game. Now, given there is one that needs to be reworked here because what is it? Is it this one because we don't have focuses, but they've reworked it a little bit into giving you your glint bonus and it gives you your shop discount, right? No, wait, this one is glint. No, which one is the one that you used to
But
have to do
wait,
with?
because on what Django said, like, wasn't in this $1 million the fund set aside for a legal fund?
Yeah, that money. Yeah, there was money set aside for a legal fund.
I mean, how is that giving it like I understand it's going out of the DAO, but how is it giving it to the company if the company cannot use it? Like, I mean, I don't know, just technically, yeah, money are going out of the DAO towards helping the company, but it's not like you're giving them the money, it's just you're covering some of the expenses. We also cover the expenses for the validators and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure that if he has the other way, he that will be the last place to ask for help. And yeah, he did ask help from Hive community, so that was also part of. But that is also in some direction that is towards new players. That's for marketing. So I mean, I just don't think that he's some asking us to pay Crypt Master salaries so he can go to Fiji and have cocktails on the beach and with our money or whatever it is. It's not
Yeah,
like
I mean,
he's asking
yeah,
money for himself. He's just trying to save the company. So I mean, yeah, we gave them more than 1 million. Well, I mean, yeah, and we have to give more to keep the company alive, hoping for a better future. I think everybody would choose that than to assets go to zero and then good, you have your funds in the DAO, but I mean, you just lost like 10, 100 times more in assets. I don't know. I mean, doesn't make sense.
yeah. But like, I would just say, like, for most people, I think a new player that came in here and saw a guild and saw that they got discounts in the shop, they got bonuses in Glint, they got access to brawls, which allowed them to earn points so that they could go to a shop and
And
buy special
SPS,
cards
and SPS,
and earn extra SPS that
no matter
for
how they
a
perform, no
yeah.
matter how they perform, as long as they submit their teams, they get exactly the same SPS as the people that are leading the team, as like the top players in the team as well. So it's like kind of a present.
Yeah, so like I mean, I think you as someone who's been around for a long time, you would like guilds to be more, but for a new player, especially because I've been playing these new games on my phone to earn crypto, those guilds don't have near as much to them and these are, little they are little phone games, but they have guilds and the guild but they have way less features than our guilds. And they're the
Oh, wait,
microtransaction type games that I have
wait.
to
I mean,
not use the microtransactions or I don't make money. But
wait. I mean, I know we are like almost around the 2 hour mark, but I mean, Jangles, I mean, you seem to be online, you seem to be awake. I mean, if you want, you can come on, and I mean, you can join us if you want to speak your piece. I mean, we can have a debate, and we can have Stevie as a moderator to fact check us.
no, I don't fact check. But
Okay, to just mute our microphones or whatever, or you can just be part of the
yeah, but
discussion.
looking at this, the only thing that I see from a new player that our site is really missing, guys, is a really good intro because our current intro is garbage. If I mean, I haven't. I know they kind of updated it a little bit, but the way they bring you into the game is just
Oh,
not
see,
good.
go send him an invite.
Oh, okay. Hold on. How do I do that again? No, I'm joking. uh,
Yeah, fact check. I mean, that's my Eastern European
Whoa, what
accent.
did I
So
just do? I didn't even know how I did that. I made that so much bigger. That was kind of funny. Oh, where is there it is. It's because the little
Geoffrey,
zoom thing is so little.
Geoffrey, Geoffrey wants Jankos to shut me down. No, man, we are friends. He cannot shut me down. We're like
Okay.
technically like brothers. So I mean, even we're the same person because Steve is constantly confusing us.
Yeah, hey,
So
I haven't been doing that as much lately.
no, like
I
yesterday.
just I just forgot how to say Pretoria. You know what though? You changed your name to just a B, and that messed me up.
What?
In Discord, your name is just a B with dots.
No.
On my screen, you're only a B with dots.
Did that blame it on your screen? My name is still Bebeomega in
Nope.
Discord.
Look, like our little here. I'll just bring this over so you could see it. You're just a bee.
Well, that's because you did something with your Discord, man. Don't blame it on me. Yeah, click on my profile and you'll see. You click on the dots. Click on the dots. No, no, the dots after the B. What the?
I have no idea. I didn't do anything. That's just what you show us on Discord. So I got confused.
Right, right. Well, I mean, you talk to him. He's not B. Just you ask him. So yeah, that's a poor excuse, man. I don't know how you did that trick, but that's a poor excuse.
No.
Yo,
I mean, it was. I went to my recent things and I looked for somebody with a B name that actually had a name, and I accidentally sent it to him. But yes, I was distracted at the time because I was doing what I said. I was watching the debate and trying to tell you I don't want to do the show. What's up, sir?
Steve,
How goes it?
Steve, I don't know how you claim you haven't confused us in so long. You guys may have already talked about this, and Baby may have already given you some shit for it, but that message yesterday left me in absolute stitches, dude. I get a message canceling the show yesterday. Clearly a message intended for my brother Baby. Uh, too funny, dude.
Oh.
What's up, gentlemen?
Oh well, I mean,
I'm dealing
welcome.
with a typhoon here, so I'm operating off of my phone's Wi-Fi.
Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to Into the
Yeah.
Splinter.
My only
People
pushback from anything you said, dude, is we didn't spend 1.4 million. We moved
No, but it's
around a
it's
couple
it's
100,000 and spent
okay,
around
but
400,000.
the validators, that money is spent.
Yeah, that money spent. That 350 I'm giving you.
Yeah. The cash that was allocated for the DHF is locked up for 2 years, where
Yeah,
if we
but
had not agreed to that, we could have been making other moves with those funds.
it's
Now we're completely
only locked up if we're continually getting funded, and if things start to go bad here, we're probably going to get unfunded, and then we can unlock it.
well,
So
I
it,
don't
it's
think
it's only
look
locked up for 2 years if the next 2 years are good for Hive and Splinterlands.
Oh, see?
it's fair enough, but it's to say that it wasn't funds that were rerouted or redirected or pulled out of potential usage from the DAO is misrepresenting what's happened to the funds. We
But
can't we
are
can't
you
turn around and spend that 500K elsewhere.
but are you aware that the money the DAO the money that DAO has are only worth something until the game is actually worth something.
Which is exactly why I feel like land should be deprioritized in favor
But it's not
of putting
about but that's the point. It's not about land. It's about
it is about land.
no, it's not because land is mentioned because that's what he's working on. As I said there, and it's mentioned, there can be a proposal. We want Crypt Monster to be working on this thing instead. But that's the point is Matt wants help with covering Cryptmaster's salary because probably it's the highest salary on the team. So that part of the DAO's help is covering his salary. What
Okay,
he will
baby.
work
I
on could be another proposal that you can gather around all the people that you know, and you can talk like, guys, we think that we should make a proposal that they should focus on this. And then, according to the proposal that will probably pass, Matt will have Cryptmaster working on something else. But that is not about where he will be working. It's about the DAO helping with his salary.
if you are correct in saying that the core of this proposal is purely to fund Cryptomancer's salary, then it should have been communicated as such. I
Again,
don't think
have you been?
I think it was a huge misstep to present something as ambiguous. I mean, if you and I are I don't feel like it's splitting hairs. This clearly states in the title of the proposal to develop the Secret of Pretoria land expansion. Yes, that's under Cryptomancer's purview, but the expectation is that we pay these funds and Cryptomancer continues said development on land. And
Unless,
my point,
as mentioned 3 paragraphs before the end, unless there is a proposal, government proposal is passed that specifies otherwise.
yeah, I just think we should be doing that now. Like why wait until later? I think we see higher impact stuff in the short term. You know, it's one dev working on land. And granted it's Cryptomancer, maybe he does quality of work at a pace that makes that salary, you know, comparable to two or three
Yeah,
less experienced devs. Maybe.
which
We
will
don't know
go,
that. Maybe.
which will go if we don't fund his salary.
No, I look, man, I think the lack of clarity is frustrating. This proposal reads a little bit desperate without coming out and saying we're in dire straits, we need help. It comes on the heels of a town hall where none of this was discussed, which rubs me the wrong way. This wasn't on a whim. Like Matt is really technical. He's very conservative. He's very well aware that this was a brewing in the background, and
How do you know it's not
the
him being
timing is
how do you know that this proposal is not him being conservative?
well. Then
Maybe
say it.
maybe the knife is not yet to the bone, but maybe he wants to prevent it going there.
So say that. I think if we are being asked to shell out the better part of 200K to cover Cryptomancer's salary, I number one, I don't think that we should be asked to do this. Number two, if we are going to do this, I think we do need some conditions adjusted. And I think one of those conditions is absolute transparency on what is the state of our runway, how much of a dire situation is the company facing at the moment, and what kind of impact is it going to be if, for example, we decide to pull Cryptomancer off of land development in the next quarter and a half, 2 quarters, in favor of having him develop something like guild alliances and the new buildings and having a look at tournaments. All of this stuff is really meaningful and ultimately going to drive bigger gains and bigger movement in revenue and conversions from new players to buying spell books and getting intimately involved with guilds and the community more so than land. I'm not suggesting that land gets thrown out. I'm not suggesting that we completely forget or even, you know, I've seen some folks say that, you know, we should probably pivot from the massive scope that is currently land and simplify and simplify and simplify. I'm not even suggesting that. I'm simply suggesting that Cryptomancer can make a much more meaningful impact working on the things that we have been promised for 2024 as being the sole focus of the team
And,
versus
and I
hiring
agree.
him as a land dev.
And I agree on that, but that's not the conversation. That's not this conversation. That's another conversation that needs to be had. And as I said, even though we have only once per month town hall, as far as I know, people from the team are still checking all the questions in the town hall channel and answering them. So yeah, it could be. And I don't need to even tell you. You can totally by yourself directly message Matt and ask him, and I'm sure he'll answer you because he's open and transparent in that regard. Wording it, maybe it's desperation, as I said. Maybe I would take it from the point that it is begging for money, and begging for money is never easy. So probably he tries to sugarcoat it in a way. But because somebody, I think Joffrey said like he comes aggressive in this proposal, he was sounding aggressive in the Hive proposal as well. But that was not his point, and he made it clear after that, if you remember, because it was like either guys you help us or we move to another chain. But that's not what he meant. That's how it was interpreted, if you remember. I'm sure you do. So yeah, probably the wording is not
What
the best.
DHF proposal?
Hmm?
I said what DHF proposal?
The one for the that is funded at the
Yeah,
moment.
I'm just joking.
Okay. Okay.
No,
Haha.
yeah, and I'm still going to disagree with you a little bit that this isn't specifically about land the way that it's presented to us. Even this like part that you're referencing, Bebeomega, I think you're looking at it a little bit wrong. He's saying that you can pay to hire him to work on land. If you don't do it, we're gonna keep him, but we're gonna have to get rid of some other people, which means he's not gonna be able to really work on land. That's what I get from this. And then at the end, when they're specifying some things, and this is only because if the DAO is now hiring them, they have to specify this. They specify that Splinterlands is going to be the one that still tells him what parts of land to build first, what actual parts go into land, and what is we're going to be in control of all that unless the DAO passes a proposal that says, hey, since we are now hiring him, we're going to tell him what to put into land. And we're going to say that we don't want 14 new resources. We only want 6 so he can get it done faster. And we want this to be able to do this and this to do that and yada, yada, yada. And we're in control now because we hired him.
Or we don't want him to work on land. We want him to work on guilds. We want him to work on new player experience, whatever it is. I mean, he'll be part
Well,
of the
yeah,
team.
at that point, you could say, yes, we would like to change our employment of him from being a land worker, to a dev, to being a guild dev,
But that's why
per
I'm
se.
saying it's not a conversation of this proposal. This proposal is clearly so they don't have to go into further cuts. Because as I said, when Matt was saying, if you don't uh, if you don't approve this proposal, Hive, then as much as I don't want to, I would need to go look our options in other chains. But then, yeah, he made sure that he wouldn't want to do that. I mean, he wouldn't want to be forced to do that. It's not like that he's giving them an ultimatum because he wouldn't want. He said, I might be forced by the situation, like by the circumstances. So yeah, it's another way. Like I don't want to cut these other people that I would need to cut if the DAO doesn't take this part of our expenses because yeah, they'll just let go 2 3 other people so they can keep Cryptmaster, and then he'll be juggling between other projects. But even though the direct impact will be okay, land will be not something that is focused on, it will be way bigger impact on, okay, now we are even 2 3 more devs less or whatever. So now we'll be even more limited on what we can work on at the same time, which Nate, as far as I remember on the last town hall, said we are working on several things at the same time. You guys don't see it happening, but when it happens, you see the changes because it's not like it's only worked in one direction. They're working on several things still, but not things that you can see directly the impact at this very moment. So it's the same, like, yeah, we'll be cutting our team shorter if we don't take that part of the salary. And the land will not be the only consequences of that, as I see it.
That is something else that kind of rubs me the wrong way about this is there's a lot of ambiguity there. If this proposal is approved, Cryptomancer will still be part of the Splinterlands team and will continue to work with the rest of the team as normal. Yada yada. Uh, where's the bit around? Scroll down, Steve.
Probably the last paragraph. That if not,
Yes. If, however, the proposal does not pass, we do not plan to let Cryptomancer go. We plan to keep him. However, we would be put in a very difficult position of needing to make cuts in other areas. That
and
that bothers me. That
and
that's
cut means people.
Of course it does. I would
So
guess. I mean, you do the rough math. 14.4K or times 12. Cryptomancer is probably the cost of three or four other employees. Can
but
we
he probably also
afford?
does the work for 3, 4 employees.
I mean, are you a developer? I'm not. I don't know how to
No, I'm not,
gauge
but I
that
know that
measure.
I just know what I've been heard about him from everybody in the team.
I
And I know that he's
I
been from the beginning. So
I know. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just telling you I don't have context or metrics to make that call. I don't know.
because even
But
even if he doesn't do the job for 3, 4 people, as in volume of work, maybe as efficiency, he does what 3 other less able devs will be doing.
it baby, you
Because
could be you could be correct there. I don't know. But my point is I don't know if I'm willing to I just don't like the way that this is worded. And I don't like the kind of sneaky threat that we're going to have to put, this is other people's livelihoods that are getting put on the line with this proposal put in
which
the
will
hands
be
of the
put in the
DAO.
line, which will be put in the line if we don't have a team or a game as well. Because
Yeah, but it's why is it being put on the DAO? It's on us. That's Matt's decision. That shouldn't
because
be
probably he has
that
nowhere
shouldn't
else
be
to
that
go.
shouldn't well then leave that part out. It just feels ugly. I don't like being guilted and emotionally manipulated. I can't. Who's going to get cut? Three or four people. We have 25 employees maybe, and we're going to cut 10, maybe 20% of that if this proposal does not get passed. That it's my mind immediately jumps to guys like Royal and girls like Lilyfire and Asaria and people that are it's just
And
it's
in the
I
past,
understand that it's the unavoidable ugly side of business.
I
I don't
understand, but
like I don't like that Matt dragged the DAO into this and is kind of turning the knife on the emotional guilt with this last paragraph.
nobody likes it. But if you look at it, if you make a comparison, how it was when Agi was here, the cuts were made. The cuts were made without even raising it, like without even trying to find a way to not make them. At least Matt is trying to find a way to not have to go there. So I think that's improvement over just announcing, guys, I mean, sorry, but the situation is like this, and then we had to let go 30% of the team. So now we'll be a smaller team and then laser focus or whatever. But still, it did happen without even trying, as I see this as a trying, without even trying to find a way to not go there. So
Okay, well, baby, I don't think I think the only thing that maybe I'm reading a little bit too much into our disagreement and conversation here, but I feel like, baby, you're muted, dude. Oh no, you're not. I was looking
from
at
you
the
might,
comments and you were talking and yeah, yeah. I think
it's
the
not.
only thing that we're really disagreeing on
Hey,
is
Steve, he's the moderator.
it,
Cut my microphone. Just fire the moderator. The moderators of this shitty show are muting me.
I think the only thing that we're really disagreeing on is where should Cryptomancer's efforts be focused based off of this proposal. I think all of that can get solved with, I think this proposal can get polished up. We can do some counter proposal. We could get some discussion. I would like to get a greater sense of clarity around runway. I would like to get a better understanding of, what could Cryptomancer knock off if we pull him off of land and focus in on all of the guild stuff that we heard about 18 months ago, whether it's increasing uh the number of buildings that we have available, changing how guilds operate across one another, whether we can, incorporate alliances, uh, making communication in game a little bit more accessible and realistic and practical. I think there's some low hanging fruit where Cryptomancer can have his efforts rerouted to. I'm not against. I don't like that the Dow has parted ways or locked up more than $1 million in the last couple of months under the presumption that things are fine. And then we get a request for actually, oh, we need another 200K to cover Cryptomancer. But if that is the case, I think we as the Dow should support this call for help. Let me be clear
Was
about that.
my
I think,
point all along, and I'm
well,
saying
that's what I'm saying.
the
I don't
way.
think we're disagreeing as much as it sounds. I think we're actually just disagreeing about where should these efforts be focused. And I feel like the
No,
low
no, we're
hanging
not
fruit
even because,
is
as I
is
said,
outside of lens.
we're not because, as I said, I don't disagree with you where it should be focused. I'm not saying in no way, shape, or form that he should still keep his focus on land. I'm just saying that's not, even though it's worded this way, that's not what this proposal is about, in my opinion. It's a call for help, and it's something that I think it's way easier to reroute at a later date, like in a week or two or whatever, to reroute where Cryptmancer work on, because as you know, Matt does listen to community, and there are ways people to influence his decision of where should we focus. So it's easier to reroute where Mancer is working on than to rehire those those devs that we just let go like 2 weeks ago, because yeah, they might be willing to come back straight away. Some might be, like feeling like, oh, I mean, you already let me go once. That means you chose me the time the next to get the boot. So why would I come to work for you? I'll just go find somewhere where I feel more stable. So
Yeah.
I think it's easier to act on changing things with the thing that we accepted than to have to fix a problem that might not be as easier to fix.
Yeah, that's where we disagree. I would rather see a proposal that I feel fully like, to be completely honest, man. This proposal yesterday, I was set on trying to go for max promo cards with the Stalker and Dahlia. I woke up and saw this. My confidence is shaken. Like I don't know how else to respond to this other than what is really going on, and we don't have the transparency to make that decision and answer that question. And that's where my biggest problem
Well, I
is that
tell you, no, things are not
we
going
don't
well.
have the information.
Things are not going well. I mean, it's clear, like no matter how it's disguised, obviously the situation is not that good. And as I said, all we can hope is to hang on long enough until hopefully better times come. Because even though the money from the DHF proposal are supposedly coming, they are not yet being spent on marketing. So we haven't gone through that point where eventually we will start feeling the effect of that. But in order for that to happen, we need to be afloat. So if that is a way to keep us afloat a little bit longer, so we can wait until that moment happens, yeah, then let it be. Nobody likes it, but I don't like the other solution as well, because yeah, maybe whether you decide to invest on this card or not, you have limited window of opportunity. So it's a risk. You take a risk or not, that's up to you. But I mean, maybe people who take the risk, they will be seeing a lot of rewards in the future. But that's not the
Yeah,
point.
but you understand my point though,
No, yeah,
right? Like,
yeah, your confidence is shaken, and I totally understand it. Like nobody likes to see proposals like that. But what I'm saying is, when we do actually see it, it means that if we are smart about our investment, we should be on the same side of, if that is the way to keep the company alive for a little bit longer, because you never know, like, how long might be enough to turn the tide. So if we can stay a little bit, like, live to fight another day, that's what people say usually, right? So if we can keep it alive enough, maybe it will be worth it in the long run. And maybe the less money, the less assets that the DAO has, like amount wise now, if the game actually explodes or at least goes in a different trajectory, maybe it will be way more in the future. So it's an investment. As I see it, it's an investment to keep the company alive enough to fight another day.
Well,
I
I
mean,
would rather see. Oh, go ahead, Stever.
yeah, I understand what both you guys are saying. Um, like I have small little disagreements on both sides. Because look, one thing I would say, if they're asking you to cover his salary for a proposal that's supposed to last a year, to me, that means somewhere in the back of Matt's mind, he's saying, look, if you guys pick up Cryptomancer's salary, I could probably pay for the rest of the people who are working here for another year the way I see things going. I do understand though your point, Bajingles. This does kind of hit me out of left field as well, because we have the DHF proposal funded. We have that money coming in. We just had a town hall. Matt didn't bring up he was planning to do this. He didn't give us any kind of hint. He didn't seem like things were super dire. And the thing I don't like about this is that, like, this is a pretty big thing to just dump out on the community. Just bam, here's a proposal. It's shortly written. It's not super clear. It reminds me a lot of the SPS validator proposal. But I could justify the SPS validator proposal because
Well, we
the
knew
SPS
that was
validator
coming.
proposal was part of the SPS chain, which is the DAO's coin. But to say that we have to pay for your developer of land, which is something that the team thought up, the team sold to us, that Matt decided that we were going to have all these new resources and the way that 2.0 was going to work. That's his brainchild. That's a harder sell for me. I don't see where that comes to us as like something that DAO should be expected to pay for. And that's the way this is written to me. It's like, look, guys, if you want a developer for land, and he's going to be a strictly demand developer, you guys are going to have to pay for it. Because if not, we're not going to get rid of the dev, but we're gonna cut in some other areas, and he's obviously not going to be 100% on land anymore, because he's gonna be pulled into different areas from the people that got cut.
But you're okay with the wording of the DHF proposal?
The DHF proposal, I
I'm
thought
just asking.
I agree with you. He came out aggressive, and he, almost like he said he was going to leave the chain if they didn't fund us. I actually personally, I was more on that side. I'm not as impressed with Hive as other people. They haven't done well with their own coin, with their own development. It hasn't been proven to me that chains ran by validator nodes and multiple people always have clear development and clear things driving them forward. This is one of the same problems we can run into with our own DAO. DAOs are still an experiment, and staked weight voting is still an experiment. It hasn't worked very well. I don't think it's worked as well as projects that have clear leaders somewhere in them. Even if you have that kind of setup, if you have a clear leader, like Vitalik is the clear leader of Ethereum, that helps their system work. Can any of you tell me who the clear leader of Hive is? Anyone in the chat?
My point was you were okay with the wording of the proposal.
I don't understand the question.
You didn't think at the time
no.
that his tone was aggressive, right? You were thinking that he's right to put it in plain words, that if that doesn't happen, then this will happen not because he wants, but because he's forced to.
Well,
he didn't say that.
No.
He didn't say
I would
that.
say
he said,
I would say no. We were everybody was surprised there was a lack of scope, there was a lack of clarity there, just as there is here.
well, see,
It's the
but that
same mistake repeated again.
but see, okay, maybe he's not good at writing proposals. Maybe that's not where his strength is. And he, even when he was taking the role of CEO, he said that's not his preference. He's trying to save the company. So yeah, obviously he'll have flaws, and be it people maybe want to focus on semantics of how things are written. I think the more important thing is what is the main takeaway? What is the main goal in this proposal? It's not the land itself. The light, as I see, the land is a consequence. As I said, priorities shift all the time, and we've seen it happen along the years that we've been here. Priorities shift. They can shift, but the point is, obviously, the runway is very short. Obviously, the company needs help,
But we don't
and
know that, baby. That's my
Yeah,
biggest problem is there's
you're
no
assuming that
transparency. We
they,
don't know that.
the
oh yeah,
last time when Matt was in the last town hall when Matt was asked how the runway was, because that's a question that comes up almost in every town hall that we have, and especially now that we have them only once a month, he didn't seem like things were dire to the point where he was going to make us take one of these over. And to be honest, I don't think that this proposal is like I can understand one thing. I can understand if you want to say, "Hey, Bajangles, I would rather hire him to be guilds." So you want to propose that? That makes sense to me. If you think guilds are more important than land, the land 2.0
Short turn.
expansion,
Short turn.
yeah. But I mean, I just don't think they are. I would just completely disagree with you there.
Well,
I
we've
think
heard
guilds.
okay, so just to back it up, we've heard from Royal Eagle, who has been keeping his ear to the ground with all the new players coming in and tracking the metrics. And it is guilds that equals conversions. Players that come in versus players that come in and sign up for a guild and participate in a brawl. It's night and day versus who comes and buys a spell book and who turns around and walks out the door.
but the guilds are there,
But
Jackals. Do you think the new
yeah,
players care about tactics? Do you think
Do you
they're
think they care about land? Is my point.
no? Well,
no,
see,
but
but
the
again,
land stuff is what's going to help fix the economy. The extra
The
sticking
economy
pools
is
for
looking
all of the
good.
resource. When the economy works and SPS is getting burned to create DEC, and you actually show that at least the idea of the flywheel economy is real and works, and that there is enough sinks for the DEC that's in the system that you need more to be created, that that shows that the idea behind our economy works and that things can go forward, and in theory SPS has an upwards trajectory because it's constantly going to be getting burned if the sinks are there and things are working right. But when those
I
sinks
don't
aren't
disagree.
there, and that isn't there, I don't see how SPS starts to go up besides just pure speculation.
Well, look at the last year. We've had nothing happen on land. We saw evidence that the flywheel exists last December, and then it petered out, and we fell to 60% of peg on DEC. We fell to zero point zero 0.04 cents on SPS. And over the last 6 weeks, 2 months, with all the sinks that have been put in place over the course of the last year, not land sinks, nothing has come from land. Soulbound cards, additional DEC sinks throughout the ecosystem. All of that stuff has started to move the needle for both of those things. So my only thing is, not to mention we've got another proposal that's in draft that is going to allow for expediting SPS proposals, DAO proposals. So I would rather pass one proposal one time that everybody agrees on in terms of, okay, we can foot the bill for Cryptomancer's salary, but these are the conditions. This is where we would like the effort focused on. Uh, you know, I don't know if we need to apply for a new proposal every time we want Cryptomancer to shift gears and focus on something else. We just tick the box in the project, and then we assess is the the project up to snuff. Okay, let's move on to the next one, or shift
But
that focus to
Django's,
lands.
Django's, how
I don't
confident?
think I would rather not see this proposal pass in favor of getting something correct the
How,
first time versus passing this proposal and then trying to outdo it with subsequent proposals.
how confident are you that
A few
enough
weeks is
people?
not going to make a difference.
How confident are you that enough people feel the same way that you do? Because I know that a lot of
Uh,
people are focused, laser focused on land, and to the point where Steve was making, yes, we saw that enough things help and opening all the resources, which leads to opening pools for them and leads to locking DC in those pools and leads to having percentage of the trades gone like burnt as fees. These are all also things which, and that's not my point. I'm not making the point. I'm just explaining what Steve was onto. That leads to a lot of DC being locked in pools, being burned as fees, and
well,
people being
what has been the
locked.
biggest driver of DEC usage in the last year?
Which one?
In the last 12 months,
Huh?
what has sucked up the most DEC?
Well, but what happened in the past 12 months is not important because we don't have these pools. That's what I'm saying.
Well, it is important because Steve is making the argument that we can't see the flywheel take off until land is operational, and I completely disagree. You
Steve
look at
probably
the
meant
DEC
it
market, you
will
look at the liquid
help.
supply, you look at the movement on the tokens, SPS and DEC. It's been all positive in the last couple of months, and none of that has happened because of land.
But
It's
you're aware
happened
that,
because of the promo cards. It's happened because of the removal of vouchers for stuff. It's happened because we opened up unlocks for soulbound cards, both Chaos Legion and Rebellion. It's happened because vouchers are no longer an expenditure for energy. Things are in the right place, and I don't think we need to rely on land to be the end all be all of this stuff. And I'm not suggesting that lands get completely sideburnered or backburnered for the long term. I just think
Yeah,
there's
but
low hanging fruit.
if we don't approve this and we don't play Cryptomancer to be our land dev, the basic feeling here is that land does basically just get even less prioritized than it already is, and that's where I think, um, I start to wonder because to me I don't see the advantages in some of the other things that you've mentioned that you'd rather pay for him to do. Because to me, guilds are good enough for a
What do you
new
mean?
player. Royal Eagle's point that a new player who joins a guild stays shows to me guilds are already good enough. You just need to get the new players
Yeah, but we're
into
just
a
not getting
guild.
new players. We're not getting the volume at the top of the funnel. Maybe the
Yeah,
middle of the
so
funnel
but
looks
so
okay.
but the
how
Like
does
mar
once they
another
come in the
guild building
door.
fix that?
but the marketing hasn't kicked
Okay,
it yet still because they probably don't feel they're still ready to uh, capture as many new players that are coming at a higher percentage. So that's why they're working in a new player experience. But again, I don't know where we're focusing on whether land will suffer or not if that proposal does not pass. That's not the immediate aftermath. The immediate aftermath is the team will shrink even further. And that I don't think any of us want that. And that's why I'm passionately proponent for that because yeah, I couldn't care less if Lance is delayed 2 more years. I don't give a damn. I have 100 something plots and like 7, 8 of the plots are working. I don't at this point I don't care much about land. I don't see it as a priority, but that's not the immediate effect from the not passing the proposal. The immediate effect is the team gets even smaller. And that's something that worries me more than than the DAO should like would pay for another bill as long as I know it's for helping hopefully get a brighter future because it's not like we have many options here. It's not like there is something immediately on the horizon that we can hope for happening. it it's clear that we have to, if we are to have to hope for anything, we have to survive a certain period of time more before we see some gains, hopefully. And that's again, hopefully, that's not guaranteed, but it's a chance. That's what I'm saying. I don't care about land, but I do care that the small team that we have, at least we keep that, because with less people, things will probably go even worse, like even slower, and it doesn't sound like something that is good for any of us.
Okay, well, you asked me how confident am I that other people are feeling the sentiment that I'm echoing. Steve, put a little refresh on your page and scroll down to the comments. Dave did just comment. I think he kind of
Oh,
sums up what I'm after here.
let's okay. Well, we all know Cryptomancer is excellent and highly respected by all. This vote is not about whether or not to have Cryptomancer around. It's really about whether or not to make cuts in other areas versus having the DAO fund the expected shortfalls. Increasing revenue to the team in other ways. I believe it's very important that Yabamet have a town hall to go over this issue and answer questions so that we have a clear grasp of the situation. And thus be able to vote responsibly. I think most everyone would like to support Matt's plans. He's the reason most of us are here, but in order to properly spend our money on a plan, it's important that we clearly understand again the purpose of such a plan. An AMA would be good as an opportunity to
Bingo.
achieve the objective. Yeah, yeah,
Bingo.
and like what happened?
Oh, I just said bingo.
Yeah, I agree that like the thing I don't like about this, if I'm going to vote no on this, it's for me the clear reasons why I wouldn't want to vote yes on this is because you're not telling me at all. Um, you're saying that you want me to fund it for a year, but without telling me what kind of expectations are being put on Cryptomancer to deliver this. And I understand it's hard to put expectations on dev work, but it's done. Okay, I work in IT. There is not one. We have developers on staff. I have never gone to a meeting with them where there wasn't a time frame for a project. I also know that 75% of those projects run over the projected timeline, but still you have one. So and they don't usually run over by more than about 30 to 40% of time. So if he told me he could have something, his time frame was around 6 months or 8 months, then I could be like, okay, it's going to take 9 or 12 probably to get this all the way done. But without having any information from them about how long it's going to take him to do this project that we're hiring him to do, that bugs me. The other thing is when you just kind of vaguely say that if you don't pass this, we're looking to make cuts in the team, to not even give any extra information. And I'm not saying like, hey, you need to put, hey, if you don't pass this, we're firing Royal Eagle, Lilyfire, and Azuri, so and so. I'm saying, we're going to have to make cuts in the of other development team members, our marketing team. Well, not marketing team because we don't have one, but
Marketing
creative
team.
team or customer support. Like, what area are you going to have to cut? Because and also what projects are going to be hurt and cut, because it's really hard to like new player experience is one of the hardest things for me to support the idea that it's important that they keep working on it, because nobody can really tell me what they're doing. There's been no clear explanation. There's been no clear, like, this is what's going to be good. I mean, set rentals were thrown out there. I feel like those have been a failure. I never were excited on those. I do think the rework of the glint system for the lower levels, and the introduction of rewards chest as you go up in league levels are great things for new players that would come into the ecosystem, and great things for current players. So they're the first new player thing that I think actually could be impactful if the word gets out there. And that's why I finally, tweeted out there something that said, hey, if you're not playing, you come play now. You can earn chests just for playing. You could be, someone who doesn't really own cards and just rent and, pull a land plot, pull a title. There's these jackpot moments that are coming again. And that to me is an exciting thing that you can market and you can bring in new players to do. If Royal Eagle says we need to be able to get into guilds, then we need to start looking like maybe the team needs to start a couple guilds up and get them to like, I don't know, level 4 or 5, and every new player goes into a Splinterlands team guild immediately, no matter what, and then from there they get a feel for what the guild is, and maybe every player who joined gets to join the guild for like 2 months for free, and then they're cycled out. Things like that could be something that might be interesting if that's super important, and I think it is. And
Well,
luckily,
I think there are a lot of
you take your gladiator cards with you. You get a
there are a
taste
lot
for
of
brawls.
guilds.
You want to keep doing them.
I'm sure that there are a lot of guilds that are having a lot of spots open. So, I mean, just as long as part of the new player
Well,
experience is
yeah, but
pointing
certain guilds
players
want you to have certain
towards a guild.
collections. You know, these would be guilds that just let anybody in. So
Well,
So,
that's also my question.
so
So
what's the
we
difference?
know for a fact objectively when customers come in and they get involved in guilds, the rate that they stick is it's massive versus when they don't touch a guild. But my question is, what does the top of the funnel look like? How many? So say we're getting 100 people a day. Is it 5 people that go into a guild and 4 of them stick? Is it 50 people that go? You know what I mean? So we're not getting the whole picture of the statistics there,
yeah,
which would be,
because
you
I
know,
mean, the one thing about
it all
guilds,
comes down to transparency here.
guilds are
We
expensive.
need more
Is the
details.
sneaky part that like we don't talk about. They to get a high level guild, it costs a decent amount of DEC. You have to have somebody willing to fork that out. You
Maybe that's an expense the DAO could take on.
Yeah, that's what I was just alluding to is having. I said Splinterlands
Yeah.
guilds, but maybe I should have said DAO guilds. That we could funnel new players into, because yeah, once you're in a guild and you've been there for a while, you've got a taste of brawls, you have that other game mode to earn the special cards that now can even help you in the regular game mode. There is this ability to be more engaged, and even though the guild chat system isn't spectacular, most people who would be playing a game like this are in Discord already, and most guilds have a Discord. So then you get into a Discord and you can chat with your guild members,
But I still don't understand,
and
as I
things
said,
like that. If for a better social experience, and I'm not sure the in-game one is ever going to be good enough to replace the Discord servers that we're all in, because the advantage to that is I can be in my guild's Discord, your group's chat, the Splinterlands one, and every other thing that I'm involved in. And it does get a little overwhelming, but still, I try to keep up with most of them. I don't see how Splinterlands in-game chat is ever gonna really be something that would be so amazing that you wouldn't take advantage of those things.
Well,
Type of things.
imagine when you beat me in ranked the other day, you send me a little message of like Grum taunting me or something. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
there's
there could be
room
some
for
definitely
significant
like
improvement.
some little rub your
The
face in
social
it
element is
social elements
yeah.
that would be
There's just
fun.
no social element in game. So I mean the opportunity is there, but the overall message here is I don't think anybody who is pushing back on this proposal is saying we don't want to help the team.
but that's what it boils down to.
No, it doesn't.
It does,
It's
because
this proposal.
everything
No,
else will be changed.
it's a short.
When you let people go,
No,
it will not be changed.
this proposal has zero transparency. We don't know the. I have a million more questions because of this proposal.
And that's
I
fine. You can
agree
ask
with
the
you that we
questions.
should be supporting the team.
That's still
That's
pre-proposal.
why I'm saying
You have enough time to ask the questions, but the point is, I don't know why people don't see that this is not about whether land is priority, whether new player experience is priority. It's just what it is. Doesn't matter how it's formulated with words. It's
but
my
it does,
asking
baby.
the DAO to pay.
There's no way
You
there's
keep
no way
saying that, and
around
I
it,
just
man.
can't agree with you.
There's no
It
way around
says
it.
hire him to develop Secret of Pretoria. It doesn't say pay Cryptomancer's salary.
Well, it
So
does.
it does say, but it
Creative
says
software
for us to
development.
pay it for him specifically to do this.
But
And
okay,
the
how
only
many?
pullback on that is them saying we will decide what is built in the land expansion. Not that he'll work on other things. Just that
What is
the
Cryptomancer
DAO
working at
doesn't
the
get to
moment?
say, "Oh, there's way more resources or way less than are currently planned."
What is Cryptomancer working at the moment on?
To my knowledge, nothing, because
No,
Land.
he's working
just
on
coming
land.
back from being
No,
on
he's working
vacation.
on land. He's supposed to be working on land. But like the detail is down in the proposal itself that if this proposal does not pass, however, we will not let go of Scriptmaster, but we will let go of other people. So how much more do you need to understand that it's not about the land, it's about whether we keep the
Is
team
2 weeks
intact?
going to make a difference?
I
Is
don't
two
know.
weeks going to make a difference?
I don't know, but I
Well,
mean,
if the answer is yes, then this proposal is about 6 months too late, and I will be even more disappointed and pissed off that
yeah,
about the
I
rollout of
don't think
this thing.
anybody is happy. I don't think anybody is happy about it. When I'm talking about it, it's not because I'm happy, just because I'd rather people see that it's something that will eventually lead to at least keep the team for a little bit while longer at full size rather than take cuts on it. But I mean, so be it. I'm just like my vote is counts for almost nothing, and pretty much none of our votes counts that much because, as we know, usually the proposals are mainly decided by two people, and probably that will be the case again. So I mean, we just sharing opinions, but what I'm saying is, as I see it, it's just asked to pay the highest paid employee of the company.
Then that should have been the proposal, is my point.
Yeah,
Okay,
It,
I
I
it should
agree.
have
understand,
been the
and we
proposal.
agreed. We agreed that Matt is probably not the best at wording the proposals because it's not
Well,
the
then
first time.
he's got a team of 20 people, and he's got this beautiful tool for free called ChatGPT.
Sure.
Leverage it.
What makes you think that he doesn't?
I mean, come on, man. Like if you suck at writing, there's
Ah,
so many tools and so
what
many
makes
Yeah,
you
people
think?
out
and
there.
he said
Maybe
ChatGPT, and maybe he didn't sign up for that for free, but there's Microsoft Copilot, there's a couple
Maybe
other AI
ChatGPT,
bots.
maybe ChatGPT is aggressive. Maybe it's written by ChatGPT and it just wants to destroy the human race. So he's just being aggressive. So
Oh, baby,
sparks.
stop it.
So
Stop it, baby.
it sparks conflicts and people arguing and
You've
fighting.
reached
And
into the outrageous,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. To
You've
me,
reached to the outrageous,
I
brother.
still look at this as Matt has got it into this idea of the way that the DAO and Splinterlands is going to work in the future. That the DAO is going to pay Splinterlands, the company, to do development work and then get some kind of return from it normally, as in we're going to pay for the pack sales, the promo cards, all these other events, but also the DAO owes us for certain things like SPS validators. And now, to me, it feels like, you know what? Land is this promise from the past, and most of the big SPS holders are probably big landholders. And if those people want us to keep our best dev on land, we're going to make the DAO fund that. That's how this is written. It looks at it to me. The only thing that doesn't make me 100% positive on that is that last sentence that Bojangles doesn't really like and isn't super clear. But if you don't do this, we'll probably have to cut. Not doesn't explain who we're going to cut, where they're going to cut from, and it doesn't even explain if doing that cut would move him off of land. Right? Are they saying that they'd have to get rid of like the two more junior devs and pull Cryptomancer in to cover their work on whatever they're doing on NPE and
yeah, but it still won't be new
tech
project
modernization and
that
stuff?
Django is saying. It will be just the same work minus land and minus certain amount of employees.
No. That's assuming that the DAO doesn't come to an agreement to foot the bill. Like I said, man, I think if we're in dire straits, if we had better transparency and clarity around what is the state of the union with all this stuff, the DAO should happily fork over the
But
cash to fund
Django's
Cryptomancer.
this is pre-proposal. As I said, the first proposal that Matt put for the DHF was also super aggressive, and then
Which
the
is why
tone.
I haven't voted yet, baby. I haven't voted, and I don't plan to.
Okay,
until I
I mean,
see
we're discussing, and
what do
then
things look like over the next 5, 6, 7 days.
is sharing their view. But again, I was making the point that it's not about land or new player experience or guilds or whatever it is. It's about fitting the bill. And yeah, I understand you want more clarity, and I'm sure you have direct channels as most of us do to Matt himself. So you can raise the question. I'm sure other people can do that as well. What I'm saying is, I just think I just don't like the approach of like playing semantics and let's focus, let's look under the microscope each
Man,
word.
having okay, so having pushed two proposals out there, proposals are all about semantics. You've got to play the politic game. You've got to run stuff. Like I would never consider putting a
Okay.
proposal out there that I hadn't run by the two people that you alluded to earlier that make or break the decision.
And maybe he
And
ran it by them.
and
Maybe that's why he doesn't care, because maybe at the end of the day, as a recording Invictus will vote for it, and wouldn't matter what you think, wouldn't matter what Steve thinks, wouldn't matter what I think. Our votes would be just pointless because Michael with Voctis and Azircon, it's enough to pass the proposal.
it's tofu. Tofu's number two and Crypto Eater. But yeah.
Well, I mean, but he haven't voted yet. I'm saying Michael because Michael have already voted yes.
Oh right. Yes. Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't know, man. It's all about semantics to me. And it's not nitpicky,
well,
I
that's
don't
clear
think.
that it's all about semantics, but it just, I mean, to me,
Yeah,
it's,
Yeah, yeah, I know. I mean, Baby Omega, you're defending it like so strongly that it's not about land when the proposal is hire him to do land.
well,
I
I
mean,
don't want to, I don't want to risk to see the result if it doesn't pass. I don't want, like you're
well,
like, oh, we don't
it
know. I mean, I don't want to know. I
baby, it,
see it.
would you not feel like if this proposal fails and we see three people lose their jobs tomorrow, would that not raise red flags for you? That would tell me there is much more serious mismanagement of funds that we haven't been made privy to over the course of the last year,
But those
considering
red flags won't
all of
make
the
me,
funding that has come in over the last couple of months. I would
those red
probably consider, some bigger moves if that happens.
Those red
I'm
flags make me
suspecting
feel
that
better,
this
man.
is
It won't make me
huh?
feel better. I'll have those, even if I have those red flags, that won't make me feel better because, yeah, it will show that whatever, even if something like improves slightly in the future, it's done. That is done. Like the team is now even smaller. And again, in order for them to start expanding, they should be in some good trajectory for a year ahead to start even thinking about hiring new people. And letting go is like this. It happens like, I mean, yeah, I mean, okay, they don't support the proposal. Yeah, you guys, sorry. I mean, we thank you for your work, but I mean, we just have to say goodbye. And that's something that happens very fast. The other process is a lot of bit slower, I think. So I just don't want to find out. I mean, I know that it's stupid to blindly believe somebody, but yeah, I do believe in what Matt have shown so far. I see that it's not him taking decisions and saying like, no, it will be my way or the highway. He listens, he adjusts, he changes whatever it needs to be done. But I mean, he's taking a step. As I said, it's a pre-proposal. By the time it reaches to main proposal, it might be changed in a million different ways. But my point is, if people do understand it's a cry for help, maybe they'll see it in a different way. And that's how I see it. I'm not saying I'm right, but that's how I'm saying it. I'm convinced about it, and that's why I'm so passionate about talking about it.
We love you, baby.
I
You know,
know, I
I don't
know.
think we're never going to agree on this. It is about semantics. Like Steve said, it boils down to the title of the proposal, the first two paragraphs of the proposal, three paragraphs of the proposal,
No,
and
it's the last one. It's
not
the last.
having the information to make a fair and informed judgment call. That's where it starts and stops for me. It was a sloppy execution. The timing also annoys me. I don't know if it was deliberate, but we had the town hall a week ago. This runs for 2 weeks, and then we have a town hall for 3 weeks from now. So it's a little convenient that this is put out there in a time that there is no town hall to address this stuff publicly. That's more of an annoyance than a call out that it was deliberate, but it does feel a
Well,
little bit convenient.
when you say publicly, what do you mean? What do you mean is
Town hall,
whether it's
AMA.
town hall or not? I mean, whether 20 people that have no effect on the game whatsoever, whether they listen or not. I'm sure that people that are actually that their vote matters, they will be raising concerns if they have. There will be discussions. So I mean, it's not like if there is no town hall, questions cannot be asked, addressed, as we've seen it happen before. So
I
it's just
agree. I agree. I like I said, man. I'm not saying that it was deliberate, but it does feel a little bit convenient, and the timing kind of sucks because this is a massive proposal, and it's another 200K that comes out of the DAO. But anyways, I
well, we
I
won't be fronting them. It's just 400 per month. We're not fronting 200 ahead. We're
no, I
just paying
understand. I
month per
understand.
month basis.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
I
I
read the
mean, like
proposal. I
the
know.
amount of money isn't the problem. I just agree with Bojangles. Like this, it seemed like it came out of nowhere. I felt the same way that it felt like after we gave them a certain amount of money, after we agreed to let them move the hive around and they got the funding, that things were solid for at least like Matt had given the illusion that we were good for like about 6 months. Now they're coming out saying like, hey, as of yesterday, we need you to start paying Cryptomancer's salary. And so that feels like something happened or something like there's something missing here that I don't understand. And
Correct.
I hope to understand it eventually because we had our town hall. They're down to only a month. To not mention that, hey, we're looking at needing you guys to provide us some more funding, or we're gonna have to augment our staff. At least a comment like that. Proposal to come soon. Something. I don't see how this can't just be something that a lot of people are just like, huh? Like, where does this come from?
It, it,
Why?
I'm with you, Steve. It just feels like some very significant decisions are kind of being passed off as very casual. Like the mini set. There was not a segment on the town hall saying, "Hey, we're gonna roll out a mini set." It was just mentioned in passing, like, "Oh yeah, we've got potentially a mini set rolling out later this year, and also the sun is shining." Just like casual in passing, and this feels much of the same. I think just the bedside manner, the delivery, the transparency, the lack of clarity. I've I think we need to see that be adjusted. And whether or not it's Matt. Uh, I mean, to your point, baby, I know that maybe it's not Matt's strong suit. He doesn't like to do the job. He's openly admitted and embraced the fact that he's not CEO material. Uh, get some help. Ask
Yeah,
ask
help
around
costs money,
for
man.
help.
Help costs money.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it
Hey,
There's
does.
a, there's a
I
shit
do
ton.
know of a Discord where you can come with proposals like this and get them polished. I'll just say
I,
it's
I
out there.
I've personally, and you're gonna call me a show off, but pushed through two proposals, didn't cost me a dime outside of a little bit of DEC that I put in there, and I got a lot of help. This community is just as passionate about seeing success for Splinterlands as Matt is. And I can rattle off a list of probably 20 names of people that would be more than happy to set aside the time to help write a well thought out, constructed, zero gap proposal that addresses everything, that is transparent, that calls it like it is, and asks for a matter of fact, this is what we need. And I think Matt can do a better job of leveraging those resources in the community of passionate people that are willing to do that. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Matt. He's the only reason I'm still here. I had things not gone the way that they have the last year, I think I, would have packed my bags and caught the boat to planet Alluvium or whatever.
Why'd you have to pick that one? Just because
Hey,
Tails
on
is here?
another
No.
I saw it floating around the chat. On another note, can we look at? I sent you guys something I think you guys will like. I don't know if you guys have seen the TPG challenge thing that we started, but it's
I
gotten
did.
some
I did.
cool.
I heard you guys talk about it in your guild. I usually don't come to things like this because I feel bad getting free things. But we can
What
at
do you
least
mean, man?
show
It's not
people.
free. You put in work.
Well, you know what I mean.
No, I don't. You should do it, man. And you can see that payout of 72 hive. Half of that is going to the previous winner, Javis. So
Yeah,
we've gotten
yeah.
some cool content that's come up out of this stuff.
You want to save me from reading it? You just want to explain what this is?
Oh yeah, so we just set up a weekly challenge to engage content creators, writers, creative minds out there to come up with different stuff every week. One week we put a bounty on Yaba in game. There was some very cool content that was put out there. We put another challenge to come up with, what is the next sale of core series packs look like. There were a couple cool submissions. This one is the current one. There's been a couple of cool submissions. If you scroll down, Steve, and in the keep going, you'll see the list of go up in between the article and the comments. Yeah, there's the list of hashtags right there underneath the bus. If you
Mm-hmm.
click hashtag TPG challenge, you can see all the current submissions. So Tofu submitted one, Ghostly, Javis, Sadie, me. You can click on mine. Uh, I'm pretty proud of what I came up with. Like I told
This
you guys
one?
earlier, we had yeah. No,
No,
the
that's a challenge. Where is
the
yours?
one with the
This one.
pink border on the card.
No, man.
No,
Nope.
wait. Oh,
It's this
this.
one.
Yes.
Oh
This
my
one.
gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a card. You
Yeah.
don't see the card?
Yeah.
Oh, so you
So
want us to design a Yabamat card? That's
yeah,
the
it's a
challenge
summoner
this
card.
week?
What
Yeah.
is the new ability?
It's all in the post.
Yeah, but
You have to write
come
down what
on,
the ability.
So right there,
I don't
Unite.
want to wait for
Unite is
Steve to
one.
read it.
No damage across the entire team, ensuring no single monster is overwhelmed. Oh, that's pretty good. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I try to come up with stuff that kind of represents Matt being, looking for the greater good. And this is kind of like murder
Empower
on
all allies
steroids.
fall remaining monsters gain increased stats, boosting their performance. Its ability turns losses into strength, making the team more powerful with each ally fallen. That's
Maybe
interesting.
maybe this would be something like,
Martyr.
yeah, it's like murder, but it wouldn't
Mass
have to be
martyr.
as OP.
Mass
Yeah,
martyr. Mass murder.
something like that.
And then,
And you can see the empower and unite applies to the whole team, and then you get to choose one for immunity, one for the shield ward.
oh yeah, and he's dragon neutral. That's interesting.
He's
So
playable in every rule set, man, with the exception of Little League, just like
yeah.
Lux.
Well, then make him 3.5 mana.
What did you use to make this image? And some AI art generator?
I used ChatGPT and Adobe for the art itself. The card was a lot of Adobe Photoshop.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have Adobe, so I don't know if I would be able to make something so pretty without a yeah, there's a little side project for any devs out there. Make us a Splinterlands card maker app.
And
Yeah, though that's
the
cool,
pink
man.
card that you saw is my proposed
Prismatic Masterwork.
auction card.
Oh, okay. So 0 out of 13 over 100.
Why
I
don't
know
you give it
I'm
some
not going over
additional?
it in super in detail, but I'm
Why
really
don't you give
having
it
to probably wrap this up here, guys, as it's already 11:15.
Django's? Why don't you give it like some additional ability for the prismatic one?
Let's go ahead and
Well,
take a
so
quick
the
look at
idea
Brave
was,
Tofu's.
yeah, there's some really cool submissions, but the idea was, baby, to make it fair for everybody, but still appeal to the whales.
Oh yeah,
So
but
you, I mean, I think the additional ability for the like the prismatic foil would be something like 30% bonus on promo. Gold foil would still be 10%. So that would be the bonus, I think, versus abilities that are locked to 100 accounts. But yeah, so it's been fun working on what next week's challenge is. Still got 4 or 5 days to submit for this one. Um, I put in a lot of time, but some of these other guys kind of whipped one up pretty quickly, and it's yeah, thanks to the typhoon, man, everything's been shut down. The whole country is locked in their houses this week. It's been crazy.
Tails says
Um,
that you're going to replace the entire creative team. So,
hmm,
put in a Dow proposal, brother.
yeah, for $85 per hour.
Dude, that would go a long way for me in Taiwan, man. I would accept that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So, yeah, thanks for letting me shield my own little project here, but I think it's
Thanks
fun.
for
Get
jumping on, man. We always love to have you on the show.
yeah,
Oh, I
yeah, and like,
appreciate the
dude,
invite,
I would
guys.
love to just keep going, but I'm exhausted and I have to do some stuff
Well, I
before I
mean,
can
it's
even go
almost
to
12,
bed.
and
So,
in 3 hours, I have to go to work. So, but it was
yeah.
fun. Yes.
Well, we got proud to say Rogue came back on with us today. It was great to catch up with him. Um, he's
Is
back in
he still
action. He's
playing
playing
his
again.
account?
Yeah, he just started playing maybe 3 seasons ago, 4 seasons ago.
Oh, okay, because like I said, we ran
So he's
into each
back in the
other in that
mix.
brawl, but I didn't see who won, so I have to message him and
Oh
ask if
yeah,
he knows.
I ran into him and immediately talked some shit and quickly found out that it was Rogue. So
Man, that's the thing I probably miss most about the Splinterlands TV thing is it just brought so many more streamers together. So,
yeah, could still do it, man. You could run Splinterlands TV into the Splinterverse TV, bro.
oh, dude, I mean, I'm having a
We,
hard enough time doing a once a week show. I'm not making
we're
any other
product.
content right now.
Yeah, we're
My job
product.
is kicking my ass right now.
We're product of Splinterlands TV anyway. So,
Yeah.
Well, thanks for the invite, guys. Didn't mean to hijack
no, I mean,
too
we
much of
might.
the
I
too much
mean,
of the show.
I technically invited you, so thanks for jumping in. And it was fun. I mean, the show went a little bit longer, but I think it was worth it. Hopefully for the audience as well. So,
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I had no idea what we were going to talk about today, and then one of the first comments, "Go look at the proposal." 3
yeah,
hours later.
I think it was entertaining for everybody but Geoffrey. So,
He's just as passionate as we are, baby. It's all right. It's all
yeah.
Yeah,
good.
no, everyone's got their own opinions and they can be passionate about stuff, and I don't know who's right at the end of the day. I am kind of leaning a little bit more towards what after you said it that maybe we just have to fund them if they need to be funded, but I would like a lot more explanation of why. So
Oh, it's okay. I mean, it's not shame to be gay. I wish I was, but never too late. Never too late.
What? Who are you talking about, baby?
Jeffrey's messing with Bebe. He's
Oh, I missed the
he,
comments.
He was,
I
yeah,
I shut off
I
my
forgot I
YouTube.
had I didn't mean to bring that up
he
on
was,
screen. I was gonna delete it, but I forgot that I have my little thing set up so all the comments I
he
click
was,
on
he was so
pop
upset.
up. So
He was so upset that I called him out that he's a Trumper, and now he's just like sour. So that's okay. I mean, if I pay attention to every stupid person in the stream, I would like it will be just wasting time on people that doesn't deserve. So that's okay.
Well, this was an entertaining conversation, man. I appreciate you guys inviting me on. I always try and tune into
It's always a
into the
pleasure
Splinterverse.
and to have you with us, and it was fun.
Yeah, I
all right,
appreciate
yeah.
you guys.
Bye,
Okay.
guys. We're gonna
I'm all
stop the
done.
stream now. It was a lot of fun.
Cheers, everybody.